It is 10:01. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. No Titans practice today. They will retake the field tomorrow at Vanderbilt Health Football Center. Left tackle Dan Moore met with the media yesterday and talked about the importance of the offensive line to Cam Ward's growth this season.
Absolutely, man. We want to keep that guy upright at all times. He's fearless, right? He doesn't care about getting hit. He does not care. But regardless of that, we want to keep him. We want to keep him clean. We want to keep him safe and feeling comfortable in the backfield.
In NFL news, wide receiver Deebo Samuel is returning to San Francisco on a one-year deal, going back to where he spent the first 6 years of his NFL career. Nashville Soccer Club is on the road tomorrow to D.C. United. They kick off at 6:30. Pregame coverage on the Zone starts at 6. Nashville is 2 points ahead of Inter Miami at the top of the MLS standings. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Back in studio. Feels like it's been a little while. Training camp, they do have stuff going on today at the Titans practice facility, but there is not practice proper, and there is not media availability. So instead of sitting outside and doing the radio show on the SeatGeek Terrace for, I don't know, me, Lucas, Kirby, and Robert, who would be the only ones taking in the radio show on that particular day, we decided that we would come back in studio and get things rolling. 615-737-1045, the number if you want to get involved. We are looking forward to having your participation, of course, throughout the duration of the show. Good morning, boys. Happy Friday.
Morning. Happy Friday indeed. I'm sure it's a happy Friday for Titans players who feel like they earned a little respite today.
Somebody in the YouTube chat where you can interact with the show, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. If you would like to get involved with the show via there, you can also call us, 615-737-1045. Bustin' on YouTube says, if it's payday, go ahead and donate to the shoe drive. I think, yes, the shoe drive itself is next Saturday, Robert. Right? That's what you just told me?
August 8th. That is correct.
August 8th. And Ramon Foster is doing great work to help Middle Tennessee kids who are in need have shoes, essentially, because shoes are not as easy to come by, obviously, as, backpacks or school supplies when different organizations do community drives. So Ramon has been doing this shoe drive for several years. I donated on behalf of us this morning. So if you have any, and really $55 sponsors a child. You don't have to donate $55 if that's not in your means. Any amount helps, right? We're just trying to raise as much money as humanly possible, but $55 is what it costs to sponsor a child to get them a pair of shoes ahead of the school year. So if you have any discretionary income on this payday, is it payday? Payday was yesterday. I don't know.
Every day is payday.
Every day is payday. Very good.
1045thezone.com. There's plenty of info there.
Yes. It is sitting right now at 62% of the goal. The total goal is $5,500.
Good.
We should blow that out of the water.
Yeah.
We have a week to do this. And the Zone
family. Well, then
family,
they made progress since I donated this morning because you said 52%? 62%. 62%. I think it was considerably lower than 62% this morning, so they must have done some heavy lifting on the morning show today.
Ron Slay made a considerable donation, being the upstanding citizen that Ron Slay is. But it's not just us. We can't do this without you guys, right. and you guys always show up every time we have something like this. I can say from personal experience, when Ramon does this, I'm getting choked up talking about it, how fun it is for those kids who probably don't ever get the opportunity to go into stores and pick out exactly what they want. How cool it is for them to be able to do that. It's a really cool thing he does.
Yes, absolutely. So we will get into some sports conversation. You'll hear a little bit of the install this morning. We did a version of the Ben Solak article, Robert, where Ben Solak went through and put together 8 coach and player pairings that he thinks will be curious to watch. I wanted Greg's version of that, so we did offense yesterday on the podcast. Cam Ward and Brian Dable are, of course, included in that conversation. And then next week we will do defense. So you'll hear a snippet of the install with Greg Cosell coming up next. But I do want to start with the downfall of the SEC, Lucas, because it seems your conference is in shambles. It seems the head coach of the Indiana football team is ruling the roost as the defending national champions, and he is comfortable taking pot shots at the SEC on a regular basis. What was the Laura Rutledge clip that was making the rounds? I've seen many people highlight this clip from her appearance on Pat McAfee, but I didn't actually hear the audio. Many people were critical of, a defense of the SEC, that it's going to be as hard for the SEC to make the playoff as ever before because of 9 conference games, I think was the summary of that. And many people were poking fun and making fun of the poor.
She basically said that the competition within the conference, the 9 games of craziness, as she said, week in and week out, it's different than other places and other conferences, and they're gassed just talking about the SEC's tougher path to the playoff.
So do you... I understand what Laura Rutledge is saying there. I understand why people would make fun of it. Do you?
Yeah, same. Like there is validity to what she is saying, and to the depth of the SEC. But yeah, you're allowed to do this if you're the Big Ten. Like, look, do we have the Curt Cignetti comments?
We have the Curt Cignetti comment of him talking about the Big Ten not needing the hype machine, and which is alluding to the SEC. Go ahead, Robert.
The Big Ten is the best league in football, and a lot of really good football teams. It's hard to win on the road. Very physical football teams, very well coached. It definitely prepares you for the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. The numbers speak for themselves. I mean, we don't run a hype machine up here in the Midwest. We believe everything's earned, not given. And when we fall short, we say we fell short. We don't cry a river, whine, and complain. All right? And that's why we're the best.
Coach Cignetti, thank you so much for your time.
That's a hell of a walk-off. I love him. I loved him before. I love him now. I love him even more after that. He is...
Yeah.
Is he
awesome.
The unofficial voice of college football in the coaching ranks right now? As the defending national champion, or is it premature to assign that to Curt Cignetti?
He's the best thing to happen to college football in a long time.
That's interesting from your perspective.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the hand-wringing that comes from Curt Cignetti, I think, comes from what he is doing to coaches across and fan bases across the country that look around and say, well, Indiana did it. If Indiana could do it, then how come we can't do it, right? And patience wears thinner because of that. And we've talked about those things. Mm-hmm. But college football, that was in a place where we got used to, we kind of came to terms with the formula to be a champion in college football. Well, you have to be one of the biggest programs, you have to have the most money, and you have to have the best players. Like that was a fact for a very long time in the modern era. And then Curt Cignetti came in and debunked all of that. And I think that's so great. That's so great for college football that Indiana can rise to the top, not because they suddenly got this windfall of millions and millions of dollars to go get the best players that Ohio State and Bama were getting before. No, because they went and got somebody that's just better at it than everybody else. That's awesome. Like, that is what we've been looking for, in my mind, in the sport. So it sucks that, it sucks for the teams, that fall by the wayside because of it, that Indiana plows through because of it. And yeah, maybe it sucks for coaches where patience wears thinner because you look up there and see a guy that in year 2 put the losingest program in the history of the sport into the college football playoff, and in year 3 won the damn national championship, something that was completely unfathomable for that program. But I think it's freaking awesome for the sport. Curt Cignetti is my favorite person in college football by far. I mean, it's not even close.
Now, SEC fans were very quick to point out Indiana's first 6 weeks. Have you? I don't know that you would have any reason, Lucas, to look at this.
They don't schedule non-conference power. They don't schedule power conference opponents outside the Big Ten. They just don't.
So here is the first 6 weeks of Indiana's schedule, which I think it is fair for SEC fans to point and laugh at. North Texas at Indiana, Howard at Indiana, Western Kentucky at Indiana, Northwestern at Indiana, and then their first road game of the season, October the 3rd, at Rutgers and at Nebraska before they host Ohio State. Ohio State is the first meaningful competition that they will face on October 17th.
I will not listen to any Catamount slander. Alabama can schedule the Catamounts to start the season. So what's any different if Indiana plays them? It ain't no big deal.
Who are the Catamounts?
Western Carolina.
No, it's Western Kentucky.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, what a scrub.
Go Tops.
Roll Tops, not Go Tops.
Okay.
Roll Tops.
Roll them tops out. Let's see them.
That university has a mascot in Big Red that gets more hype for reasons that are beyond me. I can't understand. It's just a red blob. I've never understood it.
It's the same thing as what's that Philly Flyers mascot?
The Fanatic?
Yeah, he's just a goober, right? Yeah. He's just like a Sesame Street character.
Well, apparently it has some roots in like somebody taking LSD or acid or something like that and coming up with Big Red.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's quietly one of the best mascots.
They need to have a tie-dye Big Red night. That would be sick.
I'm sure they have.
But yeah, Indiana hosts Ohio State. They go to Michigan. Otherwise, they host USC and go to Washington. Like, there's your 4 toughest games for Indiana, as opposed to, we'll pull up Georgia's schedule, right? In Georgia, who doesn't really have any marquee non-conference opponents other than Georgia Tech, who's in a good place right now under Brent Key, and that's obviously the regular season finale. Georgia will host Oklahoma. They will go to Alabama. They will go to Ole Miss. So it's, marginally more difficult than what Indiana has to do. But facing Vanderbilt, facing Florida, facing Missouri is a taller task than Indiana facing Northwestern and Rutgers and sort of the bottom of the barrel Big Ten opponents that they play. So the argument for the SEC is, they get to the playoff and they win, but their path to the playoff is a lot less tough than an SEC path to the playoff. So when you get to the playoff, you're less banged up and a better version of yourself and all of these things. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They got to the playoff last year. They got matched up with Alabama, and they beat the brakes off of them. So I kind of love it. Like, I know I'm the SEC homer, but for years, the Big Ten was the conference making the excuses, right, about academic standards at SEC schools. That's why they're able to get the better players, right? They're paying players under the table. That's why they're getting the better players. And now the tables have turned.
Notre Dame has done the same thing for 100 years, right, about academic standards.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing for college football to have this war of words between the SEC and Big Ten. I heard Ari Wasserman of On 3 the other day said it makes him feel good because there's some regionality in it. In an era where regionality matters less and less in college football, I love that we've got Curt Cignetti talking trash about the Midwest versus the Southeast. It's awesome. It's what college football is supposed to be about. So it does come at the expense of the SEC, but I smiled when I saw Curt Cignetti saying that yesterday. I love what he's done for the sport in an era where college football feels less like college football than ever before.
I will pick apart some of what he said, though, because I think he has forgotten that USC and UCLA are also in the Big Ten, and nobody's a bigger whiner to me than Lincoln Riley.
Oh,
so let's not pretend that top to bottom, the Big Ten is representing solely the Midwest and Midwest values and Midwest hard work and Midwest grit and grind and all these different things. When you got Lincoln Riley out there at LA, bitching and moaning about
kickoff times. Like, when he had the audacity,
I couldn't believe that,
last season to complain about having a night game at home and then having to go across the country for an early kickoff the next week. It's like, who could have seen this coming? Who could have possibly seen this coming when a West Coast program joined a conference that plays in Central and Eastern time?
Yeah. So I will remove Lincoln Riley. Who's UCLA's coach right now?
It's Bob Chesney, the former JMU coach.
Okay. JMU.
Pretty good pipeline.
They know what's going on as far as coaching goes. Vanderbilt and Indiana can tell you just that. But I did love Curt Cignetti's comments yesterday. Big Ten Media Day was taking place over the course of Big Ten Media Days were taking place over the course of the last couple of days. Really wasn't much else from Big Ten Media Days of consequence as far as that goes. I mean, I didn't see anything.
Who's the second most interesting head coach in the Big Ten?
Whittingham, right? I mean, there were some moments where he looked like he had some additional time to take questions, and then they cut him off, which was making the rounds. I think Barstool had some people there that were asking questions of Big Ten coaches, so maybe people, scared SIDs were trying to cut the Barstool people off. I don't know.
I like Dan Lanning. I didn't see any comments of his this week, if there was anything of note.
Well, I looked at the rundown today, and Robert has put something in there that says Oregon Fartgate, so I'm not sure what that means. So we will get to that at 11 o'clock, it seems. I'm not sure if that is involving Dan Lanning or not, but Robert will explain that to us in just about an hour, less than an hour from now.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I have the makings of a varsity athlete, but after this story, I'm also not going to not say that I don't have the makings of a varsity athlete.
Okay, very good. That's a tease, ladies and gentlemen. The other Cignetti quote, Lucas, I don't know if you got a chance to see this clip, but Barstool was at Big Ten Media Days because it's
awesome.
in Chicago. And so a number of Big Ten coaches, including Kurt Cignetti, sat down with Dan Katz, who is known as Big Cat. And is it pro football? It's just PFT, but it's pro football. What's that stand for him?
It's PFT commenter.
PFT commenter.
Yes.
Okay, so those are the two characters that run the very popular podcast, Pardon My Take. And so I will cede the floor to the Pardon My Take podcast and their interview with Kurt Cignetti in a soundbite that will delight you.
How are you going to handle being the hunted now that you're at the top? It's like now you've got a big target on your back.
I bought a bigger gun.
That's a great answer. Okay, all right. That's
I also like
congratulations.
and no, they don't schedule elite non-conference opponents, but they just won the national championship. Like, they just beat Miami in the national championship game, who beat Ole Miss out of the SEC and so on. They waxed Alabama on the way to it. So I just don't know how you can sit there and hate Kurt Cignetti unless you're obviously a rival and his success has come at the cost of your team.
What percentage chance? I mean, do we think that repeats are possible in the modern day of college football? National champions.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, I just think it's as fluid as it's ever been, right? Like, I don't think we're not in the business of dynasties anymore. And yes, you can continue to recruit and portal at an incredibly high level and continue to build your war chest, for lack of a better term, as far as resources go, and give yourself as many opportunities as humanly possible. But I do think that the landscape is as fluid as it's ever been.
Yeah, it's harder than it's ever been, but you still have a lot of the same teams competing for a national title year in and year out. So, yeah, I mean, will any of us be blindsided if Indiana just does its thing again this year?
I will, Lucas. I mean, come on. Indiana.
This is the new normal.
No.
Indiana's a powerhouse now. Like, that's what this is.
It will never be the new normal.
It already is.
What do you think their title odds are right now? I'm looking at DraftKings Sportsbook. Who do you player combinations on offense that will have a huge impact on the 2026 NFL season? Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Speaking of Hattie B's, they are doing something really cool. Give Back Day this Sunday, August the 2nd. $1.28 of every order at Hattie B's locations across the country will support the ALS Association. So they are jumping on the fundraising train here with Chris Johnson, who has brought back, well done by CJ to help bring back the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge after, I don't know, how long has it been since that first came into consciousness? Like 10 years? I remember being in college. So the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, I remember being a big thing when I was in college. But now it seems like it's got more momentum than it's ever had, especially with the amount of celebrities and pro athletes that are doing it and donating on behalf of Chris Johnson, who, of course, recently announced his ALS diagnosis. So you can join Hattie B's for the Ice Bucket Challenge if you're so inclined at various locations in Birmingham, Memphis, Dallas, Austin, 4 of their Nashville locations, and in Chicago at Wrigleyville. And every order, $1.28 of every order supports the ALS Association. So if you can't get to a Hattie B's location that is doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, or you're not necessarily interested in getting a bucket of ice dumped on you, but you still want to support the cause and help lend your resources to what CJ is trying to do, you can do that by simply going to Hattie B's and getting the best hot chicken in the world, or whatever it is that you would like from Hattie B's, because $1.28 of every order will support the ALS Association. Well done by Hattie B's.
Yes, always supporting causes like that. The Shut the Click Up Challenge cause that you mentioned, where proceeds go towards Noah Kahan's mental health organization. They're good at this stuff. So HattieB.com. Before we get to Cosell, there is some quick news.
Yeah. Tony Romo.
Yeah, CBS Sports announcing that Romo is on leave until further notice. J.J. Watt is going to call games with Jim Nantz and Tracy Wolfson until he comes back.
He's never getting that spot back. Watt's good. I think Watt's good in the booth. And I said that of Romo when Romo first got there. And Romo, I think, had a pretty short shelf life as far as the quality that he brought to the broadcast. I think J.J. Watt has done a good job, even if I feel like perpetually people have made fun of J.J. Watt for his entire career about the Captain America bit that he's been doing. But I think it's genuine. Like, you can be corny, but be genuinely corny.
Is he good, or does Ian Eagle just make whoever is his counterpart look good?
Well, I don't know the answer to that, because his previous running mate was Charles Davis, who was excellent.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to judge that, but Ian Eagle is Kevin Harlan's my favorite play-by-play guy. Ian Eagle is probably 2. I should probably have Lucas 3rd on that list.
That's
Lucas,
okay.
You're number 1 in my heart, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Better than his son. Better than that Nepo baby getting all of these games. Oh, he's calling Netflix games now.
Noah.
I know a guy. I know a guy. That's what Ian says every time he auditions for a job. Hey, I can't take this, but I know a guy. It's my son.
Noah is actually pretty good.
I wonder why. Maybe it's because
good.
he stole his whole flow from his father. Let me just do everything the same way my father did it.
Do you know his father was a stand-up comedian before he got into play-by-play?
I had no idea.
He's one of the funniest people out there, but it doesn't come through on NFL broadcast, but like, he was doing stand-up comedy before he was...
Where did you see this?
He did an interview with Le Batard. This was a couple of years ago, where he said he had... maybe he wasn't like a paid professional stand-up comic.
He was just doing like open mics?
Yeah, just doing open mics and stuff like that. Like, apparently he is a genuinely hilarious guy, but that doesn't necessarily come through as polished professional TV play-by-play.
I mean, I don't know. His wit comes through in a big way. I mean, he's sharp. Ian Eagle is just phenomenal. So, yes, he has had some great partners. He also makes them better. It's a very symbiotic relationship. So, who steps in with Ian?
They should just get the tandem. Just father-son it.
Who's the third Team CBS guy?
I mean, it's Adam Archuleta, is it not? With Spiro Didis doing Titans games?
Oh, is that the third team? I didn't know if there was a...
I mean, they're often the ones on Titans. Andrew Catalan is also an excellent broadcaster that does a lot of those games.
I don't think Spiro Didis and Adam Archuleta have done a Titans game in a while. I think they're kind of above that lately.
Spiro Didis.
Let me look.
Andrew Catalan and Chris Lewis, who's also very good, that's kind of CBS's depth chart for NFL games.
Yeah,
off the top of my head.
I don't think Spiro Didis has done a Titans game in a while because he was like forever the voice of the AFC South. It felt like.
Does Trent Green still do games, or is Google AI lying to me?
No, I think you're right. I think Google AI may be right. But yeah, I don't know. Who do you pair with Ian freaking Eagle?
Hopefully it's not Ross Tucker.
Oh, that's who's been doing a lot of Titans games lately. Ross Tucker and it's not Beth Mowins.
Tom McCarthy?
No. It's a female play-by-play.
I think it is Beth.
Announcer. Is it Beth Mowins? I didn't know because I thought Beth Mowins was ESPN.
She is, but I'm
maybe she gets to split duties.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she does stuff with CBS. Yeah, she does.
I feel bad for Titans fans.
Oh, McCourty.
Oh, that'd be good.
Actually, I don't know if McCourty's doing stuff because I think he signed a fat ESPN deal to not do CBS stuff anymore.
Well, who knows what any of those deals mean at all, because you saw Carl Ravitch was laid off by ESPN, but now he's calling baseball games for ESPN.
That? Yeah, so is he like...
How do you feel if you're Carl?
And apparently he's going to keep doing games this summer. He's going to do the Little League World Series, which he does every single year. I guess is he just a 1099 employee now? Like, I guess they could lay him off and still bring him in to do stuff. I mean, ESPN employs a ton of people that aren't full-time at ESPN. But, yeah, that was interesting.
So, last year, it was Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt, Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, Andrew Catalan, Charles Davis, and McCourty were in the booth together. Then Spiro Didis and Adam Archuleta. But Ross Tucker and Beth Mowins, they did at least 2 Titans games because I remember going back and watching the DVR, the TV copy of that, and just being, and I don't know either of those individuals, so I'm sure they're lovely people personally, but they're a tough listen. They're a tough listen. I did not envy Titans fans for being subjected to that.
Well, potentially good on Tony Romo. Ari Marov tweets out, Tony Romo has north of $70 million and at least 4 years remaining on his contract from CBS. So if he was let go with cause, would he still be?
No. If they fire him for cause, they don't have to pay him out.
And if J.J. Watt does get in there and do a good job, I mean, fans aren't going to want to see Romo back in there. Interesting. I wonder who is on somebody asked who's on the Titans-Jets game.
Do we know that yet?
They probably haven't. Yeah.
I would be surprised if we had the announcer assignments that early.
Yeah, I feel like if they would have had announcer assignments, we would have already heard of that. They would have made a big deal about who were calling the Week 1 games.
Usually we get those things are made public when we get the media guide for that week's game. So maybe, I'm sure because it's Week 1, we'll have some level of advance notice, but usually it's in the week leading up that we find out who the assigned announcers are.
It is a CBS game.
But it's a noon game, right?
Noon game, yeah.
So they're not going to put... It's not going to be.
No, it's not going to be Nance and Watt.
Or it's not going to be Ian Eagle.
No.
Right? So we're probably talking about Catalan.
Probably. Andrew Catalan is an excellent broadcaster.
Yes. 615-737-1045, the number if you would like to participate. All right, let's play a snippet of the install with Greg Cosell. It's a really fun podcast that we did yesterday out there at the Titans practice facility where we were talking about offensive coach and offensive player pairings that Greg is going to be studying ahead of the 2026 season. It includes Cam Ward and Brian Dable, but not exclusive to those two. So we'll give you a snippet of that right now. Welcome into the install with Greg Cosell of NFL Films. I'm hanging out at the Titans practice facility because Greg training camp is officially back in our lives. How are you on this beautiful Thursday morning?
Doing great. And so we're at that time of the year where every single play in training camp is going to be obviously talked about as being the definitive play of a player's career.
Yeah. Yes. Many bold statements being made, many extremes being gone to. Yes, it's how we know that football is back because the nuance is gone and we will have none of it until this football season's over, I'm sure.
God forbid if Cam Ward throws an interception in training camp, then he's obviously a bust.
Well, there are some bad actors in Tennessee that would like you to believe that already, but we don't have to get into that today. What we are going to get into today, speaking of Cam, is this is an exercise that I'm looking forward to doing with you, buddy, because I always enjoy your perspective on the process and the conversations that you are able to have with coaches around the NFL and your travels and your visits and your role for NFL Films and, of course, the matchup show on ESPN. So today we're going to look at offensive coaches who are coming into a situation who have the ability to really help define what this NFL season is going to be. We'll do offensive today. We'll do defensive next Thursday. By the time we do that, it'll be time to talk about preseason and some players who are going to get some action to actually talk about what's happening on the field of play. But looking forward to talking about this offensive side of the ball with you, Greg. And you have touched on themes that you kind of took away from last year in previous podcasts. These 5 coaches and teams that we're going to talk about today, I am really curious to get your thoughts on, and I'd love to start with Mike McDaniel, the Chargers, and Justin Herbert, because that is one of the most hyped pairings, I think, anywhere in the NFL.
Yeah, and just so people understand, there wouldn't be a coach in this league that would not tell you how talented Justin Herbert is. I know for a lot of people, because he's not had good games in the playoffs, they think that he's not that good a quarterback, but he's a really high-level talent. So now you're dealing with Mike McDaniel, who obviously has a background with Kyle Shanahan. He really made his bones in San Francisco. He's considered a run game savant. We saw what he did with Miami's run game. His pass game is very, very timing and rhythm based, where the quarterback hits his back foot and gets the ball out. And we saw last year that O-line, of course, due to injuries with the Chargers, because they lost both offensive tackles, Slater before the season even started, and I don't know how many games he played, but it was not many at all. So they really were scuffling along their offensive line. And then if you end up with a lot of deeper drops, which seems to be the way you want to play with Herbert because he's got that big arm and can drive the ball down the field. But my guess is what you'll see with Mike McDaniel is a much more timing and rhythm-based offense. Now, don't get me wrong. Every coordinator, every offensive coach wants their pass game to have a sense of timing and rhythm. But the Mike McDaniel offense, which stems from the Kyle Shanahan offense, is very choreographed. I mean, everything works together. The footwork of the quarterback, the depth of the routes, it's really precisely put together. And that can, in my view, maybe I'll be wrong, Buck, but in my view, that can do nothing but help a quarterback. And I think you'll see a Chargers pass game that looks a little bit different this year.
Well, and if for no other reason, Greg, then Mike McDaniel's genius, for lack of a better term, comes from his ability to scheme in the run game, right? And how complementary, how helpful that will be for Justin Herbert. We saw a little bit of that with Greg Roman, right? That wasn't a complete wash under the previous offensive coordinator. But in terms of what Mike McDaniel will bring, there's going to be a diversity there. There's going to be a lot of, hey, let's just go out there and make a mess, especially in the run game, and see how often we can throw these guys off.
No, and there's no question. A lot of people are talking, particularly fantasy people, I guess, are talking about Amari and Hampton this year, because obviously we know that Mike McDaniel has always put together a really strong run game. I mean, look what he did for Devin Achane, who I think signed a big deal this offseason. Super talented back with great speed. Very multiple, very well schemed run game, and that ties into the pass game. And there really isn't anything that Herbert can't do as a quarterback. And I think one of the things that style of offense, and again, this is what all coordinators try to do. Some do it better. It's just like in any business, is they really define the primary read for the quarterback in relation to what the defense is giving you, as well as any in the league. Shanahan is phenomenal at that. Ben Johnson got to be very, very good at that with Caleb Williams last year, and that will likely continue this year. But I think that's what Mike McDaniel does exceptionally well, and that only helps a quarterback play with a better sense of timing, a better feel for the concepts, and just an overall sense of confidence that, again, when you hear quarterbacks talk, that's so much a part of it, going beyond just the tactics of the pass game, is the feeling of confidence that, hey, I can hit my back foot and know I've got to throw.
So from the hype to a little bit of unknown, you mentioned Minnesota before we got ready to sit down and record the podcast. And obviously their quarterback situation is TBD, for lack of a better term. We'll see what becomes of J.J. McCarthy. And
And of course, Kyler Murray in there on a 1-year deal after leaving Arizona for the first time, or changing teams for the first time in his career as a former number 1 overall pick. Kevin O'Connell is an interesting figure this year. I wonder what you make. We don't really talk. We haven't really talked much about the Vikings on the podcast. No. I wonder what kind of defines Kevin O'Connell's offense from a principal standpoint, and how you see McCarthy and Kyler potentially fitting in.
And again, now you're getting into the precision of the quarterback with his footwork, his drop, because don't forget, Kevin O'Connell, he initially thought that he was going to go into broadcasting, and he was in our broadcast boot camp here at NFL Films, and that's when I first got to know him. And I knew that probably coaching was in his future, because during the lunch break, he said to me, "Hey, can we go to your office and watch tape?" And I'm thinking, you're probably not going to be a broadcaster, So anyway, the point is that, his background, he started with Kyle Shanahan with Washington, and then he was with McVay. So again, you're dealing with that offense that's so precisely choreographed. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and say Kyler Murray can or can't do that. We don't know the answer to that. But in fact, that's not the way he played in Arizona. So it's a work in progress. One of the things, Buck, I try not to speculate. I know everybody likes bold, controversial statements. He can do that, he can't do that. We don't really know that. Kyler Murray, look, everything I've heard about players in any sport is when they get traded or they get released by a team that was their first team, some get a little sense of humility, like, oh, they didn't want me, so I don't know Kyler Murray, and I'm not going to speak about what's out there about him because I don't know him personally. But the way he's played in the past, he hasn't really been a pure timing rhythm player, because obviously he has phenomenal second reaction movement ability, the ability to make those plays above the X's and O's outside of structure. And he does have a good arm. It's not as if he does not have the talent to function well in a really highly schemed, efficient offense. And in some ways, that can help a quarterback who's shorter, because you hit your back foot, the ball comes out before the pocket gets squeezed and people are around you. So you do have a better sight line, because obviously those quarterbacks that are shorter, the longer they hold the ball, the closer people get to you, and then you lose your vision. So, this could work very well. We don't know the answer to that, but it's clearly going to be a change from what he's done in the past.
Because I don't think of Kyler, Greg, as one of these rehabilitation projects, right? Like, Kyler Murray has been a good player. There are still some unknowns around him, despite how long he's been in the league. But I think that's what makes this such an interesting pairing. We'll see who ends up being the starting quarterback. I don't think Kyler Murray is there to be the backup, but that remains to be seen, and we'll let the competition play itself out. But that is an interesting note.
Before we jump ahead, you always get, and I think about this so much now when I watch tape, and we talk about it during the season with all my guys on the matchup show, is what's the balance with the quarterbacks that can make plays outside of structure? So what's the balance between that and playing with precision? Because you don't want to tell Kyler Murray not to move. Okay, just like you don't want to tell Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, or Patrick Mahomes not to move. But on the other hand, you don't want them to prematurely leave the pocket and disrupt the timing of the pass game, particularly when it's so precisely schemed and choreographed. I'm being honest, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know how they coach that. Ben Johnson talks about that a lot, and he's very honest in his press conferences in talking about Caleb Williams. But I don't know if there's one definitive quantitative answer for that, but you certainly want the pass game to function with the way it's supposed to function within structure when it's there, which ideally is more often than not.
Ask you about the Philadelphia offense and the coordinator change.
That is a portion of the install with Greg Cosell. If you want to hear what Greg had to say about Brian Dable and Cam Ward, you can subscribe to wherever you get the podcast and check it out on YouTube. Tomorrow morning is when we will have it. We've had a lot of YouTube videos being pumped out lately, so the Thursday schedule got bumped just a little askew. So we will have that for you 9 a.m. Saturday morning. If you would like to watch the install with Greg Cosell, subscribe to the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel.
And while you're there, before we get out of here, I want to take some time to brag on Ross and Kroll. They have done an exceptional job about turning content from training camp on our YouTube channel. They've got a ton of shorts up there with drills, individuals. So if you missed any of that, make sure to go check out those videos because Kroll and Ross did an exceptional job getting all those up there. It was just exceptional how quickly they've got this. So we all knew stuff, especially if you like to see veterans frustrated. My favorite one went up today of Solomon Thomas letting some frustration out on the sled. That one tickled me.
Somebody in the comment section, Mitten, it's a funny name.
Smitten by Mitten.
Is it Mitten or Smitten? No, it's Mitten. Mitten on YouTube writes, Marconi nominated show, ? How's it feel to have Greg carry you, Buck? LOL. It feels great. If I can get a radio Oscar because I'm sitting next to one of the smartest guys in football, hell, I'll take it.
Yeah, the Zone.
Yeah, Station
Back at
2.
it.
Station 2. That's right.
Second year in a row.
Nominated for a Marconi.
So just quickly, because, I know nobody likes to brag on themselves too much except for me. Robert, the significance of that. You were congratulating me when I guess the announcements were made about Marconi nominations. And it's a cool thing, right? There's 5 podcasts across the country that are nominated for a Marconi in that particular category. Greg and I are fortunate to be one because of the audience's support, and we are very grateful to you for that. But the significance of that was lost on me a little bit until you got in the group text and was like, "No, you idiot."
This is a huge deal. This is honestly, I'm flabbergasted. Not because we don't do exceptional work here.
Surely we're not that good.
No, but because this is a huge stinking deal. Like, look at the conferences and the radio stations and everyone else that's been involved with this in day one and who have won. Like, I'm talking about Boston. I'm talking about New York. I'm talking about Dallas, like Detroit, Cincinnati, like big markets. And we are up there with them, and we have arrived where it is the second year we've been nominated in a row. And just being nominated is a huge, huge honor. There are people that work their ass off for years and years in this industry and do exceptional work and never get any credit like this or anything close to it. So the fact that we've been nominated not once but 2 years in a row is something worth being proud of because we are up there with the best of the best. And I've known, and you guys have known, and everybody that works here knew that we were doing exceptional work. But to have your peers recognize you and say that you're doing that exceptional work is gratification in and of itself. So congratulations to everybody that works here because this is a huge deal. And it's not because of one person. It's not because of just 3HL, not because of just Ramon and Will. It is everyone at this station as a group working together for this. So it is a huge stinking deal. And I'm proud of everybody because, like I said, there are tons of people all over the country that pour their blood, sweat, and tears into doing radio at the highest level and never get to sniff a nomination. And we've gotten two years in a row. So this year we're taking it. We're winning the whole damn thing. And there's not anything anybody can tell us after that because we will be a Marconi winning station.
Marconi, the Marconi Awards, named after Guglielmo Marconi, an Italian, known for his invention of a practical radio wave-based wireless telegraph system. You hear that? That's why we're all here.
Yes, let's name the great Italians.
How's their soccer team doing?
Not great.
Lucas's favorite Italians, in order. Mussolini, number one.
Hey.
No, he only looks like Mussolini when he's standing on a stage with a microphone and an ill-fitting suit.
Yes.
That's the only.
Don't document our tattered history, dadgummit.
Oh, goodness. So yes, we are incredibly grateful to the audience and to people who vote on that. I'm not sure what the voting population of that looks like exactly, but that's fine. We're very grateful and thrilled to have been nominated as a station again for a second consecutive year. And Greg and I are incredibly fortunate to be one of the 5 podcasts nationwide that are up for an individual, or I guess an individual show award in podcasts. Is that the first year? Somebody's asking if that's the first year that they've done Marconi's for podcasts.
I believe the category is radio podcast.
Okay.
So I don't think it is the first year, but it is one of the first years because obviously podcasts have broken through to mainstream.
Jeff in Nashville says, "My God, stop pleasuring yourself. It's just a damn radio show." No, I'm actually pleasuring myself right now. Don't look under the table.
I'm glad I disconnected those cameras.
I'm gonna keep going. I'll let you know if I climax. You can bring me a cigarette, Jeff. 615-737-1045. The number. SEC Stat of the Day is next.
So Kurt Cignetti and the Big Ten have bragging rights, and they have had bragging rights for each of the last 3 seasons. 3 Big Ten national champions, 3 different programs out of the Big Ten. And that's fair. That's how this works. When you win, you get to talk smack about it. And that's what Kurt Cignetti and the Big Ten have been doing. While SEC coaches, it is a fact, are stepping up to the podium and complaining. They have a lot to complain about. Any coach can complain about anything. But SEC coaches are complaining about things. The Big Ten is beating its chest. So as we look ahead to the 2026 season, as far as the national championship is concerned, let's try and figure out, we can go around the room and see how many SEC teams do we believe are capable in their best case scenario of 2026 of winning a national title versus how many Big Ten teams we believe are capable of winning a national title. This is not predicting that these teams are going to win, but just saying there is a world in which X team has the capability to make a run in the college football playoff and lift that trophy. So let's start off the top, and we're going to go off of FanDuel Sportsbook's national championship favorites. We'll go around the room with each of you two guys. Ohio State, plus 550 to be the national championship favorite. Ohio State, capable of winning a national championship, yes?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, good. I'll skip past Notre Dame. They are an independent. Oregon, plus 750. Capable of winning the national championship.
Yes.
Yes, we all agree. Dante Moore, absolutely. That's 2 Big Ten teams. Texas, plus 800. Yes, very capable of winning a national title. Georgia, at plus 850.
Yes.
I think we all agree. Okay, that's 2 each. Indiana?
Hell yeah.
Yep. Indiana is plus 950. We now go down to Ole Miss. Ole Miss at plus 2,200. Who fell short in the semifinal last year with Pete Golding as the head coach, but Charlie Weiss Jr. no longer there calling plays on offense. They scooped up East Carolina's offensive coordinator. Trinidad Chambliss is back. Kawan Lacey is back at running back. Is Ole Miss capable of winning a national championship in 2026? So far, we have 3 Big Ten teams and 2 SEC teams.
They've got one of the best returning quarterbacks in the country.
Absolutely.
They've got one of the most talented rosters in the country.
Yes, and their defensive scheme remains intact with Pete Golding, even though he's the head coach now.
Who bounced them in the playoffs?
Miami. They lost to Miami in the semifinal after beating Georgia.
Right. I'll say yes. I think I'd. Pete Golding is an unknown as a head coach, right? Like the circumstance that Pete Golding was asked to navigate last year were borderline catastrophic, and I thought he did a pretty admirable job, if I'm being honest with you. Now, what does that look like in an expanded sample size? I have no idea, but based on the roster alone and the talent that they have at the most important positions, I'm going to say that can get them into the playoffs, certainly. If you can get into the playoffs as a Power 4 school, you are, to me, a national championship contender.
Yeah, with a quarterback like Trinidad Chambliss. Agreed. Robert, do you agree? Ole Miss, capable? Again, not saying it's likely or we're predicting it, but is there a world in which Ole Miss wins a national title this year to you?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
That is capable that they win it.
Yes.
Yes, we can live in that world. Even there's a 1% chance, you would have to say they are capable.
Okay, so that's 3 each conference. A&M, Texas A&M, who started 11-0 and then lost to Texas and then lost to Miami in a defensive slugfest where Miami made 1 or 2 extra plays. Remember, that game was 0-0 at halftime. Marcel Reed back at quarterback. That defense led by Mike Elko. They are plus 2,200. They have the same odds as Ole Miss.
Their schedule this year is pretty favorable, right? They have a tough test at LSU late in September. They're at Alabama and at Oklahoma, home for Texas. So those are so these are tough games. These are not, rollover things.
Yeah, it's a much tougher schedule than last year.
If I'm going to put Ole Miss in there, I feel that I have to put Texas A&M in there.
I think Texas
because
A&M
I think it's basically the same case for Golding as it is for Elko, right? And for Texas A&M's roster as it is for Ole Miss's roster.
Mike Elko went 8-5 in year 1, 11-2 in year 2, and then he brings back his quarterback and a big bulk of that roster, and he's still one of the best defensive minds in college football. It would be silly, I think, to say that it's just impossible, that there's no scenario where they take another step in year 3 and win a national title. So, yes, I would agree that Texas A&M is capable. So that's 4 SEC teams. Is Oklahoma plus 2,200. Reached the playoff last year, blew a big lead to Alabama. John Mateer's back at quarterback.
Healthy.
Jim Nagy is calling the shots with that roster. Oklahoma, probably an underrated team in the SEC this year. Their over-under, last I checked on FanDuel Sportsbook, was like 7.5, which I thought was insane.
I'm going to say yes. I think Mateer is the kind of quarterback, when fully healthy, and he was not last year, right? Dealing with that hand injury, and then he came back probably a little prematurely. I know he wanted to get out there and fight with his guys and things like that, but, sometimes that can be to your detriment, right? We talked about it with Baker Mayfield just yesterday as far as playing through injury, and sometimes that can hurt the team as much as it helps them.
Yeah, I agree. Robert?
I agree with Oklahoma.
It would be tough for me to continue to say all of these SEC teams have a chance to win the national championship, given how many of them there are that have the potential to win it. Like, at some point, we have to draw the line in the sand and realize that this conference is going to cannibalize each other's potential to make it. Yeah. So at some point, someone that is a good team that could win the national championship is not going to make it. I understand the exercise of saying, can they or could they? They could, but I think that's where I draw the line in the sand.
You're right. The very fact that we're already at 4 SEC teams that could maybe reinforces the idea that the SEC won't, which is what SEC coaches have been saying and what Laura Rutledge was saying on Pat McAfee that she got dragged for. Right?
It's an easy thing to beat up on them for.
Like the graphic pops up of Indiana's notable opponents while Kurt Cignetti's talking. It's like Michigan, yes, Ohio State, yes, Purdue.
What did we beat their ass by last year? It was like 69-0.
Who has not had a pulse on the football field since they were in the Music City Bowl here with Aiden O'Connell throwing for 1,000,000 yards.
I went to that game.
We all did. We were there. Well, this was pre-Robert. This was pre-Robert.
What did we ever do before Robert?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
We weren't winning Marconi's. I'll give him that.
That's true. We were not nominated for Marconi's. So that's 4 but Robert is correct. But for the purposes of this exercise, that's 4. Bama. No, that's where you're drawing the line.
Nope.
Okay.
I mentioned to you that a buddy of mine who was on the same team, the same Bama team as Dabo, was talking to me about their quarterback situation.
Keelan Russell and Austin Mack.
Sounded optimistic about Russell. And again, that's just one person with experience with the football program and things like that. So I don't want to put too much credence into it. Their optimism. I think unknown at quarterback is there will be moments where he's tested, right? And there will be moments where there is uncertainty, and there will be moments where a young quarterback kind of flounders. And so I think Alabama is in more of that situation. Though I would obviously put them in a higher tier than I would Tennessee this year.
I think it's going to be really tough for them to rebound off of that week 1 loss. To Czech's-nosed Eastern Carolina.
Who does that happen to be? Yes.
I mean, listen, Florida State, god-awful Florida State team beat them last year, so you never know.
Well, Alabama will have a chance to get their face back in week 3 from that loss last year.
Yes, that is true. I think there's a world in which Keelan Russell awakens this offense and they fix a lot of the problems they had up front and in the run game last year. But okay, we'll just say we'll cut the line at Bama. LSU, we'll go quick fire here.
Yes.
LSU, Michigan.
What's the deal with their quarterback?
Bryce Underwood going into year 2. Kyle Whittingham has stepped in as the head coach.
I will say yes.
Yeah, I'll say yes. I'll say yes to Michigan. Okay, so that's 5.
Like dark horse.
Yeah.
But I'll take them.
What about USC?
No.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah. So then Tennessee is next in the odds. I think we're drawing the line there. So we have 5
That's pretty
SEC
good, though, for
teams.
Tennessee. I mean,
they're plus 550.
Given that we don't know anything about their quarterback.
I mean, they're tied with Florida and first. Well, we've gone further down the list. So that's 5 SEC teams, not including Bama, and you can make an argument for Bama and make it 6, and that's 4 Big Ten teams. So, to Robert's point, that could very well be the thing that prevents the SEC from reaching the national title game, which, again, sounds like excuse making, because that is what it is, but it's also a true fact. So it's interesting times in the SEC versus Big Ten debate.
Robert, what are we doing next?
Imagine it's 4th down, 4 yards to go. You got to have it. You get in the huddle. Your quarterback starts calling the plays.
Next.
11:02, good morning from the Circa Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. No Titans practice today. They will retake the field tomorrow at Vanderbilt Health Football Center. Left tackle Dan Moore Jr. met with the media yesterday and talked about the importance of the offensive line to Cam Ward's growth this season.
Absolutely, man. We want to keep that guy upright at all times. He's fearless, right? He doesn't care about getting hit. He does not care. But regardless of that, we want to keep him clean, we want to keep him safe and feeling comfortable in the backfield.
In NFL news, wide receiver Deebo Samuel is returning to the 49ers on a one-year deal, heading back to where he spent the first 6 years of his NFL career. Also, Adam Schefter reported today that Tony Romo has been placed on leave by CBS Sports following his arrest for OWI in Wisconsin over the weekend. It'll be J.J. Watt who steps into the booth alongside Jim Nantz for the time being, according to Schefter. Nashville Soccer Club is on the road tomorrow to DC United, kicking off at 6:30. Pregame coverage on the Zone starts at 6. Nashville is 2 points ahead of Miami at the top of the league standings. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Okay, so Robert Walsh is going to lead this next segment because all it says in my rundown is Oregon Fartgate. That is not an area of expertise for me. So I will cede the floor to the executive producer of the show, and he can inform us on what we need to know about controversy in the Oregon huddle.
Right. Big Ten Media Days weren't exactly the star-studded Hollywood production that SEC Media Days are, and player interviews were very similar. You don't really get a lot out of these players. They're kind of just there to do their time so they don't get fined, and they don't always give the best sound bites. But in this case, where Oregon's leader on offense, Dante Moore, his leadership was never questioned, but how about his leader, Bleep? Has that been questioned?
Sometimes Dante farts in the huddle, and we have like a little competition of who can fart in the huddle. But I would say really everybody, but mostly Tay because he farts a lot.
How did this farting in the huddle tradition start?
Oh my gosh. Who said that? JJ. I knew it. Too much stuff is getting leaked out.
Too much gas.
You got to find ways to connect with your team, so we do that. Plain and simple, that's all.
Shut up.
Nothing else.
Okay, all right.
Who's the reporter?
She was having a good time with it.
Oh, man.
I don't even know who this other player is. Like, this is terrible journalism on my part.
The second player?
No, the second player is Dante Moore.
Oh, that's so funny.
I was going to say, that has to be Dante Moore because that's the most quarterback answer I've ever heard in my life. We fart in the huddle together because we have to find ways to bond as a team.
Jamari Johnson is the player that said it. The reporter was Brenna Green of KOIN News, which is in Portland, Oregon.
In the last segment, Lucas, you went through SEC and Big Ten teams who could win the national championship. And for Oregon, we said yes. Does this impact your opinion on whether or not Oregon can win a national championship?
It reinforces it.
No, it in fact, it works to their detriment. They have weak stomachs.
Oh,
They're nervous farters.
Quite the opposite. The team chemistry.
I'm pretty sure I saw Dante Moore poop himself against Indiana in the Peach Bowl.
Going to have to call their coach Dan Fanning.
This tells me the culture at Oregon.
Don't laugh at your own joke.
Is phenomenal.
Their gut culture is also really going well for them.
Need some of those acidophilus pills I was talking about before I went to Europe.
That sounds like a Greek dictator.
This is
acidophilus.
This is just guys being dudes. Like if you're having farting competitions and everybody's giggling in the huddle, that tells me your culture is pretty good. Everybody likes each other. Everybody's on the same page.
Very comfortable.
Everybody's comfortable, relaxed. I don't know, man. I'm surprised FanDuel has not bumped Oregon up in their odds. After this, they are currently plus 750.
What was the question that brought about that answer?
Who knows?
I'm dying to know what she asked him that he volunteered. Yeah, we fart together in the huddle.
Brings a new meaning to all gas, no brakes for this offense. They are definitely all gas, full ass, no brakes.
Yeah, man. This gives me a lot of confidence in Oregon.
It also gives me a lot of confidence in the way that we are training our producers, because what is the defining factor about everyone who comes
a gas oven back there,
who comes through these hollow doors of Cumulus Nashville? What is the one test I put all of these producers who train back here with me through?
That's right. Can they survive the?
Can they survive?
And they pass the gas. And they pass the gas.
Kroll is back here doing swimmingly.
Where's
Ross,
Kroll? Can I get proof of life of Kroll? I haven't. Kroll has been stuck in this room. He's probably had a wonderful time being stuck in that room by himself.
Kroll, sound the siren so everyone knows you're live.
Dude, it is. He sounds like a dog more and more every time. It sounds like a hound dog.
Yeah, he's yelping. It's a dog that's yelping because somebody's smothering it with flatulence.
Oh my goodness!
I don't think there's a more like defining moment for this Oregon team. If it all goes bad, people are going to go back to this. People are going to bring up the fact this is going to be brought up in draft evals.
Or if it all goes well.
If it all goes well, I bet everybody is having beans the day before games.
No, they all can't turn into Roger McCreary, yeah.
Can
So Oregon opens the season.
Can of corn, I'll be fine.
At home, they host.
Somebody give me a Diet Coke.
Oregon hosts Boise State in week 1. Who they had a run-in with. Was it last year or was it still when Ashton Genty was there that Oregon came close to losing to Boise to open the season?
Yeah.
Jeans T. It was, 2024. That's interesting. So their home and home was split up by a season. But remember, Oregon had to win on a walk-off field goal against Boise in week. That was a really good Boise team with Genty that had a case to be in the college football playoff. But they open at home against Boise. Week 2, they go to Oklahoma State. And then they go to USC in week 4 and host UCLA in week 5. So they play all the Pac-12 Big Ten teams, their fellow Pac-12 Big Ten teams, before they start to play Nebraska at home, Illinois on the road. They go to Ohio State this year and they host Michigan.
Dan Lanning. Where is Dan Lanning in the Sarkisian, Kiffin, Cignetti, Cristobal landscape of coaches who need to do more winning of consequence? Because obviously he's won at a tremendous rate. They've been incredibly successful since he came over as the Georgia defensive coordinator.
4 years at Oregon, 4 seasons. How many losses do you think he has?
Let's go 6.
3.
3? Good Lord. No, 8. Okay. 8. 3 losses.
No.
And that's what they're asking Don anymore.
He'd have a ring if they had 3 losses in 4 years.
What have you 8? All right, I need your guys' help with some fart puns for Oregon's schedule. So Boise State can be Noisy State because of the gas. I don't know one for Oklahoma State. Portland State, easy. That's Fartland State now.
Oklahoma State are the Pokes. Can you do anything with that?
Well, the only
something's poking out.
I was just going to say the precursor.
Yeah. Turtle head joke. I got a fart pulling a trailer kind of stuff. USC could be University of Stinky California. UCLA could be University of California's Loud Ass.
Could be something Nico related to.
Nebraska is just Nebraska.
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 Just add an extra S. Yeah.
Illinois could be the Illinois. Northwestern is going to be tough.
Well, they just stink.
Yeah, they just stink.
Yeah, you guys just stink. Michigan.
What about Ohio State? You skipped Ohio State.
I know. I'm having trouble getting to the end. MI, maybe like a GI State. Could be for Michigan State.
Oh, my God.
And Washington, washing.
Wash yourself after you've pooped your pants.
Yes, washing our underpants.
Yeah.
So I can give up with fart puns for a majority of these, but if you have one for Oklahoma State poking out, like I don't know,
that is the most disgusting way to describe that physical circumstance: a fart pulling a trailer.
Yeah,
that is foul.
I got a fart pulling a trailer. That's a grandpa special. My grandpa good Lord.
Come on.
Used to also say, don't hurt yourself. You're about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. That was another one of my favorite grandpa favorites.
Have you guys ever seen this guy on TikTok? He's probably around our age, but he dresses up as a Southern grandpa in overalls. and he gives like Southern Grandpa one-liners.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
And stuff like that. And that guy kills me.
I got 2 microphones, and neither one of them like feedback. What's up?
What's up? Typical Mead gives us one that we cannot say on air for Michigan.
Good job all around. I like that. Can't say it, but I like it.
This was productive.
That's a pretty good one. All right. You got headlines?
Sure.
Next. Nothing worse than having to call someone to work on your AC unit or to fix a plumbing problem that you weren't expecting, having no idea what it will cost. Well, you don't have to worry about that with Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, because the price, they quote you, is the price you'll actually pay. They're the most trustworthy plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical company I've ever dealt with. Their experts are truly that, experts. They're professional, experienced, and trustworthy. When the tech is on their way, you'll receive a photo of them and a link to track them in real time so you don't waste your time waiting around. As Hiller says, 100% satisfaction guaranteed of happy you'll be or the service is free. That, of course, is the Happy Hiller promise, and you know that Happy Hiller gets its name honestly. It's a family-owned and operated business that's been in business for over 35 years, so you know they know a thing or two about plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical issues. So don't live in the heat. Call Happy Hiller and book online today at happyhiller.com.
These are the headlines today. Aren't you glad football is back? No, we're not. smoking any crack.
You don't know that.
That was amazing.
Literally, Lucas got in.
How much planning
Wait,
did that
hold
take?
on, lay out.
These are all the headlines. With Lucas Panzica.
That's really good, Robert.
Give them to me, babe.
That's amazing.
Give me those headlines, Lucas.
Robert got here at 6 a.m. this morning to craft that.
Robert forgot to play the MSNBC election music, and then Lucas made him do that a cappella, which is more impressive, honestly, that you
really
did that
good.
in all of 5 seconds.
Oh, we already mentioned it, but it's kind of the news of the day in the NFL that Tony Romo has been placed on leave by CBS Sports following his arrest. What would we put the odds at that Tony Romo does indeed rejoin Jim Nantz in the booth this season?
Low.
What was his BAC?
I don't know.
That's my percent.
That info. Have y'all seen the videos?
It's so good.
Oh,
I've seen the AI videos, too, of him doing the death.
Number one, it's not good. Don't drink and drive, folks. But
I don't even know how to do that. Like the hip turn that they do. Can you do it?
I thought you were saying I don't even know how to do that, drink and drive. I don't think most people do. I think it's a good thing you don't.
So there were a couple things. Number one,
I'm trying to figure out how they do the hip thing, you know?
If you haven't seen any of the body cam footage from Tony Romo getting pulled over in Wisconsin, he was at a golf tournament. He was driving away from the golf course. He told deputies that he had been coming from a golf course and he was on his way to visit Grandma and Grandpa, which, upon research, it has been revealed that all 4 of Tony Romo's grandparents have passed away.
Well, hold on. I'm glad that some people are speaking up about this because he does have parents. And maybe he was referring to his parents as I'm on the way to see Grandma and Grandpa because he has children.
I didn't consider that. Fair enough. They basically pulled him over on the side of the interstate, so they couldn't safely perform the testing there. They had to take him somewhere else. They went to like a parking garage or something where there was a flat surface where it was quiet. And he's doing like warm-ups before doing the field sobriety test.
Calisthenics.
But the most comical part, and again, PSA, don't drink and drive. Right. You could kill yourself and others. But there was comedy at the end of the video, and Tony Romo, after going through all the motions, being like, so did I pass the test? And the cop goes, turn around. And he goes, no, okay, I guess I didn't.
Nobody has come away feeling better after a body cam footage than Tony Romo. Like, Tony Romo seems more likable after that. Again, don't drink and drive.
The hope in his eyes when he goes, did I pass the test? And she says, turn around to cuff him. So Tony Romo, again, according to CBS, is just being placed on leave. And they are framing this as though it is temporary.
Who's the last person in sports media to get fired for an alcohol-related incident? Because I don't feel like people get fired for this very often. Again, DUI, OWI in this case.
Kroll hits it on the head. Paul Pierce, probably. Or was that more about the ass shaking?
Paul Pierce had... What was the nature of the Paul Pierce video? Because it was him during a poker night.
It was like he was at his brother-in-law's place, maybe his brother's place or something.
Because I saw recently the Paul Pierce video saying, why would I apologize?
They were just chilling.
For nothing.
They were drinking, they were smoking, there were girls dancing, and the video got out there and Disney canned him. And they asked him to apologize, and he was like, no, I'm not going to apologize. I was just having a good time. It was not only alcohol-related.
Girls dancing, blowing some trees. So this is the quote.
He was like, it's legal.
This is the quote from Paul Pierce, why he has no regrets about the live stream that cost him his ESPN job. There's girls dancing, and we're blowing some tree. What did I do wrong? Paul Pierce says he'll never apologize for his 2021. That was 2021. That feels like not that long ago. ESPN firing because he didn't break any laws.
So,
well, that's stupid. They shouldn't have fired Paul Pierce for having, dancers and weed at a poker game.
Stephon Diggs didn't lose his job over sharing that tussie with those women on the daggum boat.
Whatever that was. Whatever substance that was.
I just told you what it was. It's tussie. It's pink as Barbie's house. You know exactly what it is.
I don't know what that is. Like, is that a drug?
I plead the fifth. What's the doctor?
I was about to say, you can't tell him what it is without further incriminating yourself.
I'll pull the Fauci.
No, you can't pull a Fauci.
God.
The saddest thing about the Tony Romo stuff was when they asked him if he had any head injuries or concussions recently, and he just looked dead at the camera and He is just thrusted back. Thursday Night Football on Thanksgiving, laying dead on the field. Is Tony going to be able to pick it all back up? How is he going to pull this Cowboys team back together? And then they're like, all right, Tony, can you step this way, please?
He said over the years, but not recently.
I am not promoting drinking while driving, but I like Tony Romo more after the body cam footage came out than I did before.
But like Robert pointed out earlier, 4 years, $70 million remaining on his CBS contract.
Sanchez is the last person to get fired.
A lot.
Well done,
there's a lot more than alcohol that had to do with that.
Mark Sanchez fought an old man.
Yeah, literally got into a stabbing incident.
Yeah. And was doing cocaine-fueled sprints through alleyways of Indianapolis.
Yeah, there was a lot there. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Tony Romo and CBS.
Especially because, like, you could, I'm sure, a lawyer with further expertise than any of us could go through Tony Romo's contract and find a way to get him fired for cause. Because they would have, if they're going to fire him, it would have to be for cause because they're not going to pay him $72 million to go away.
John has tweeted at us and said, I wish networks could do trades. Fox is wasting Greg Olsen as their number 2 with Love Olsen with Jim Nantz. What if we had transactions among media networks?
Well, we do. Marty Smith almost got traded to Fox a couple of years ago. That's a real thing. If look it up. Look, Marty's talked about this. Hell, I think Marty's talked about it with us when he was pushing his book a couple of years ago.
Did he almost get traded or did he almost get employed?
No, they almost traded him. ESPN, Al Michaels has been traded.
Hold on.
Look this up.
I've never heard of this.
Are you seeing any news coverage of it?
No.
Okay, well, look up Al Michaels media trade. Because these things have been discussed before. This is not just a figment of this is not just something that's made up. Like Al Michaels and Marty Smith have both been discussed in media trades.
There's also nothing Al Michaels related here either. Okay. Yes. The Walt Disney Company traded Al Michaels from ESPN ABC to NBC in exchange for the intellectual property rights to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Yes, that's right.
Plus Olympic broadcast highlights and Ryder Cup golf coverage.
Yes.
That's crazy.
It almost happened with Marty a couple of years ago, something NASCAR related, I believe. Because this is a thing. I don't know whether
In 2006, they swapped him for a cartoon rabbit. That's amazing to go call Sunday Night Football.
Who won the trade?
Wow. I think we can evaluate that now, given the time that's passed.
Who did win that trade, ESPN or NBC?
Clearly Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
I mean,
am I supposed to know who that is?
I have no idea.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
I'm going to Google him.
I mean, Al had a great run calling Sunday Night Football, but who started calling Monday Night Football? Were they had a period there where there was a ton of turnover.
I've seen this before. It's like a knockoff Mickey Mouse. But
it kind of looks like Julius the Cat from the old comics and whatnot.
Well, it looks like first gen Mickey, right? What was Mickey's first character?
Steamboat Willie. Correct.
It looks like
you owe me a soda or a kiss.
Okay, so Mike Tirico stepped right in. So they both made out pretty good. Like ESPN got Mike Tirico doing Monday Night Football and NBC got Al Michaels doing Sunday nights.
What is Oswald up to now?
I think they banked him.
Deebo Samuel going back to San Francisco on a 1-year deal. So Ricky Pearsall has an injured right knee, and the 49ers needed receiver help, so they turn to the guy that started his career in San Francisco, the first 6 years of it with the Niners before spending last year in Washington. And Samuel is on a 1-year deal worth up to $7 million. Ian Rappaport had the reporting on it. Deebo, how old do you think Deebo is?
29.
He's right around the same age as AJ, so I'll say 30.
He is 30. He turned 30 in January, and last season he was productive. He had 72 catches, 727 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Robert, when you have the audio, let me know. But this is Matt Mayoko of NBC Sports Bay Area talking about the Ricky Pearsall situation. Let's hear from Matt Mayoko, who's a longtime 49ers reporter.
Yeah, and this doesn't look good either. The posterior cruciate ligament is an injury that oftentimes heals on its own. And that was the expectation last year. He injured that thing. He came back, kind of re-aggravated it, and just he had a difficult time shaking that. Well, the idea was, or the thought would be, that it would heal on its own through the off season. And it doesn't appear as if that has happened. After the first 2 days of training camp, which he ran all the routes, he wasn't limited in any fashion. He experienced swelling in that knee, and now it's kind of back to the drawing board. So, if surgery is required, he's going to miss the season. He's going to miss the entire season. And I know, even looking at it objectively, you're like, gosh, this happened the second day of training camp where the swelling became so bad that they have to back him off and kind of seek medical advice and determine what they're going to do. The idea and the reason the 49ers didn't, kind of push the envelope and have him experience the surgery earlier in the offseason is because the expectation was that it could heal on its own. And if they had decided to have the surgery, say in February or March or whenever, you're not giving it the full time to recover on its own, but also you're probably going to miss the season anyway. So I think that they made a calculated attempt to hope, I guess, that thing would heal on its own like it often does. And once it didn't, or it hasn't, now it's time for the 49ers and Ricky Pearsall to decide what they want to do, because...
So that's Matt Mayoko. It goes on at some length, but essentially he's describing the injury situation. Ricky Pearsall's had a terrible time being available because obviously he had the gunshot situation where it was an attempted robbery right over a watch, where somebody shot Ricky Pearsall as a rookie, and that obviously he missed some time, but did come back in that season, which was crazy.
Incredibly fortunate.
And so now you're talking about a circumstance where this guy may not play this year.
Yeah, it really sucks for Ricky Pearsall. So Debo back in the picture. And honestly, San Francisco's been at the center of some wild stuff in the last calendar year. The Pearsall shooting, the electric substation, and its relation potentially to the rash of injuries they had last year. And this Kyle Shanahan stuff that we haven't really covered since more details have come out. So
we can leave that to WGN in Chicago. Did you see what they did?
I didn't. I only saw the police.
Somebody photoshopped a Kyle Shanahan image over Mitch McConnell in a hospital bed.
And they used it thinking it was just a real image?
Used it. It's McConnell's wife.
Oh, my goodness.
With Shanahan and I.
They used a meme.
They used a meme when talking about the 41 stitches that Kyle Shanahan had to have as a result of this.
Showing him in a hospital bed completely unscathed.
Fine.
Nobody caught that, huh? When he famously, it was a really serious wreck. Kyle Shanahan.
Which they're not releasing the body cam footage for.
That's what I was going to bring up. How weird is that? The police came out and made a statement that they will not be releasing the body cam.
Lucas Saleh was talking about this at the opening. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. What was Saleh saying about it?
Saleh was talking about this at the introductory or opening training camp press conference, and he said, yeah, when my wife and I saw him 2 weeks ago, he looked awful. He looks considerably better now. How many people knew about this for 2 weeks without getting out? I'm not here to bang the journalism drum again, but this is a weird ass story.
So Palo Alto police did not cite Kyle Shanahan for causing the car crash. Shanahan, this week, finally just summoned reporters into his office at the Niners facility to lay it out for them and say the crash was his fault. Yes. It happened July 14th. He said he dropped his cell phone. It fell between the seats. He took his eyes off the road, trying to retrieve his phone. When he looked up, he had crossed over into the other lane and basically had a head-on collision. Now, thank God, no lives were lost, but it was a very serious wreck. And a clerical error initially stated that the woman operating the vehicle that Shanahan crashed into, they said she was the one at fault initially, but they corrected it. And Kyle Shanahan was reportedly very beat up about the whole thing, about the fact that he wanted to lay it out there finally for media that he was the one at fault, not the woman that he crashed into. Now, a spokesperson for Palo Alto Police said in a statement to ESPN that, like I said, the attribution of fault to the other driver was a clerical error. And they said, quote, "It is not uncommon for officers to elect to not issue a citation to either party involved in a collision. Neither party in this situation was provided preferential treatment." But the whole thing has been insane. We didn't know about it for a couple of weeks. Very, very serious injuries to Kyle Shanahan, that he had a gash by his eye that required 40 stitches. He almost lost his eye. He had 3 broken ribs. He had a broken left hand and a serious concussion.
I need the two of you to look up this Mitch McConnell meme that WGN used.
To
see how very much not injured he looks in that picture.
Yeah, that's rough.
Especially with the things that they described.
Now, what I don't love is that I assume she's in stable condition, but I kind of hate how not an ounce of detail about the other woman involved in the crash has been put. Is she okay? Is she in the hospital?
They're not there.
I get that Shanahan's the center of the story because of who he is, but come on. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is information out there, but I have not seen it yet.
Can somebody with a legal background explain to me how they're not required to release the body cam footage if the body cam footage is requested? Is that not the purpose of these things?
So the scuttle is that she found out that she was being attributed with the wreck fault, and that she was upset about this and was going to lawyer up. So
This is reckless speculation?
Yes, it is very reckless. Hold on, let me get a little. So Shanahan took it into his own hands to say, no, it was my fault.
I thought you were going to try to talk while you faded yourself.
No, I'm not that good.
Okay.
Also, I don't want to make fun of this, but how badass would a coach look with an eye patch? Like, when I think about coaches that would look badass with an eye patch, like Dan Campbell, I'd even think Sean Payton would look badass with an eye patch. But Kyle Shanahan, he may take the cake. He may take the cake of coaches that would look the best.
Who wouldn't? McDaniel. Well, he's not a head coach. Harbaugh would look funny with an eye patch.
He would look sad. Who are the older coaches that would... Andy Reid would look like... It would also be sad with Andy Reid. I don't know if I could make myself be like, oh, he's a fat pirate.
Andy Reid already reminds me of the guy. What was the guy that used to do the diabetes commercials? Wilford Brimley.
Yes.
Wilford Brimley. Andy Reid reminds me of Wilford Brimley.
Who did I hit?
Some quick news and notes before we get to Robert's audio of Josh Allen defending the Bills' new uniforms.
You cannot wait to get to this.
Send out Captain Charisma to fix all this.
Packers star tight end Tucker Kraft activated off of PUP after recovering from his ACL injury. That is big news. And Saints wide receiver Chris Olave is signing a 4-year extension worth up to $132 million, including $90 million guaranteed money.
Good for Olave.
And good for that string of Ohio State receivers that continue to get paid.
And Carnell Tate hopes to be the next.
They, just quickly on the 49ers before we transition to Bill slander for Robert, they still have to deal with Ayuk in the middle of all this. He's still on their roster. What do we think is the most likely resolution for Brandon Ayuk? That they just let this play out the stretch and that he's playing football for nobody in the foreseeable future?
Well, I assume he's going to show up at Commander's training camp and just start going through drills.
In the stands?
Yes. I'm ready. Whenever you guys want to trade for me, I'm ready with my helmet.
So let's do the Bills one, and then I want to get to this Liam Cohen audio that you sent to the group as well, Robert.
Oh, that is good stuff. Something that is not good stuff. The Bills' new nickel uniforms, as they're calling it, they are gray, they are lame, they are terrible. And the new Bills quarterback wants you to know, hey, you guys, hey, everybody. Oh, dang.
Quiet.
Everybody be
Please, everyone be quiet.
Stop talking bad about our new uniforms. These guys worked really hard on them. Please, somebody do their job correctly, Robert.
And stop hating on the jerseys, guys. I don't know if you guys are hating. I don't know. I don't see anything, but they're great. I honestly like. Speaking of new, right? It's a new look. It is. I understand that, but we gotta be new, and I think these jerseys kind of are symbolic of that. And I'm excited to wear them. We had a lot of people that put in a lot of hard work for these jerseys, and it symbolizes a lot of newness, and that I am excited about.
You like it better than last year's all white. I thought it was good.
We didn't win in the all white, so absolutely.
I mean, I don't
Stop
think
hating on the jerseys, guys.
Shut up, Josh. shut up. I don't know if you guys are hating.
I'm very excited to wear them as Bill's PR has a gun pointed at the back of his neck.
I don't know if you guys are hating on them, but you better stop if you are, because they're nice. I don't see anything. I don't see the hate. But if you guys are hating, people worked really hard on these. Shut up. Just shut up, dude.
Who's the last player who took out jerseys that they were going to wear? Has that ever happened? Because there's been some god-awful jerseys. Jags, Bucks. I mean, what's the worst jersey in recent memory? Steelers and Bumblebees. I don't know if a Steelers player has ever come out vehemently against the Bumblebee jerseys. But yeah, I mean, Robert, what do you want him to say? Maybe just, he brought it up though, right?
He did.
He brought it up.
He was like, speaking of new.
He doesn't have to bring it up.
Just don't say anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have to bring it up.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that they asked him, hey, Josh, if you have time during this, and if you're asked about it, can you please speak glowingly about our new crappy uniforms so everybody stops complaining about them?
Somebody in the chat says, honestly, which is what Josh Allen said, honestly has never sounded less honest.
Speaking of new, it's a new look. We got to be new. Why?
I don't know.
Like, why?
I mean, I could ask that around here, too. I was
like we're Bills fans demanding a new look?
No, they love the all-whites.
Exactly.
I bet
the
Bills fans
are a great look.
I bet the Bills fans are the ones who are the most pissed.
Like, is it a superstition thing as far as Allen is concerned?
I bet players are probably like that.
We didn't win in the whites.
Yeah.
But
no, that's probably the most honest. That's probably the most honest thing he said in the middle of that clip is that they didn't win in the all-whites, so what do we care about the all-whites?
How does Haley feel about them? Oh, she's too entangled with Michael B. Jordan to give a comment.
Okay, what other Bills slander do you have back there? Because there's an offensive lineman giving some commentary to a reporter that I thought you would appreciate as well, as far as who is now coaching the Bills.
I haven't heard this.
It's good.
So this is Alec Anderson, who I am unfamiliar with.
Same.
Which is a surprise. I usually know most of these goobers. But here is him saying how he feels about Joe Brady as the Bills' new head coach.
The vibe with Coach Brady is young and fresh, I think. I think he's coming in with this young energy, just like a different insight. It's kind of like having your uncle come over, and he's a little bit younger than the older brother, and you're just going to have a good time. He's single, not that Joe Brady's single, but like you're going to be able to go out, get some ice cream, really do stuff that your parents wouldn't really allow you to do, and I think that's kind of the fun aspect that we're going to have. I think he's embracing everybody exactly for who they are and what they want to be, and I think that's going to drive the team a lot.
Yeah, because that's what you want in a head coach. Substitute teacher vibes is basically what he said.
I know that we have a game tomorrow, but you guys have been working really hard. Why don't we skip curfew and go get some ice cream?
I mean, is he going to be the next Brian Callahan?
God, I hope so.
Because that's just the way. That's what I watched that clip and I thought of you because I'm like, oh no, he better not crater Josh Allen.
And this would be a bigger fall from grace than Brian Callahan.
No, by a mile.
Because Joe Brady has been touted ever since he was at LSU as the next wonderkin on offense. He went to Carolina, didn't really shake out the way he wanted to, went to the Bills. They're like, okay, he's the quarterback coach. Okay, he's the OC. This could work. Okay, now he's the head coach. So this guy has had time, ample time and space and time on task to figure this out. So when he falls flat on his face, they have no one to be upset with but themselves. For one, letting your owner come on. I feel like this has been totally swept under the rug. But the owner coming out and being like, yeah, that was the old coach's pick, this Keon Coleman guy. We don't even know why that guy's here. Oh, by the way, we're not trading him. We really believe in him. We think he can be everything we thought he was going to be when we drafted him.
Yeah, and we're promoting one of those coaches to be our next
What a goober. Like, I hope that this is the regression of the Bills back into the stinky Bills days.
Robert, I don't even think it's a hot take for me to say I think they're going to crater this year. I think they're going to be. I'm not going to say they're going to be one of the worst teams in football because they have him. But like, if Joe Burrow can miss the playoffs every year since 2021, why the hell can't Josh Allen miss the playoffs?
More, keep going. Just keep saying.
Get yourself someone who loves you as much as Robert hates the things that he hates. It's almost inspiring.
I just can't stand them, dude. Our fans are so cool.
No, I love Josh Allen.
They're masochists. They love beating each other up.
I love Josh Allen as a football player.
Do you hate the Bills more than you hate anyone in the Ravens division?
No, I hate the Bengals more than I hate the Bills.
Really?
For sure. 100%.
Well, because you don't have to hate the Browns. Because
don't have to hate the Browns. And I have
I would say you don't really have to hate the Bengals. I mean, they had the Super Bowl run and Burrow is Burrow, but
but it's a Lamar Burrow thing because Burrow is constantly thought of as
Oh, and he gets the benefit of the doubt.
That's what I'm saying.
God forbid Lamar sneeze or be sick or have an upset tummy, and someone's going to say that he got gas station shrimp Alfredo. But Joe Burrow, oh, look how good this guy is. Shut up. Him and Josh Allen can ride off in their Batmobiles. I do not care.
Let me hear Liam Cohen. At your convenience. Sorry, that was a little.
I said to the staff the other day, I go, guys, this is the best part of coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars. You don't have to make up telling your players stuff.
Yeah,
you don't have to make up the fire. You don't have to make it up. It's given to us every day. Yeah. And it's like a welcome. It's a gift from the heavens. From you just scroll. I just go pull out my phone, look at the NFL Network website, and just pop up here. And I'm just curious if I see any photos or anything about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think I'll just scroll right on through.
You keep going, yeah.
I think I'll see 40 pictures of Caleb Williams, and I won't see a single thing about any of our players on here. And so it's beautiful because it's like, yeah, guys, this is great. Thanks.
The gift that keeps on giving.
I'm going to tell all these guys how much you all think they suck.
Yeah. That yummy rat poison.
Liam Cohen.
We have a caller.
Do we? Mystery Vortex?
To the phones.
Who's there?
Caller.
Who are you?
State
Identify
your case.
yourself.
I was listening to a very smart, intellectual human being by the name of Robert Walsh by saying we hate the Bengals, and I'm okay with that. I'm on board with you, sir. There's really nothing good that comes out of it. Great people from time to time, but what they do as a team, absolutely not. Hate them. Robert Walsh, smartest man in Tennessee. Thank you, sir, for your service.
I don't know who that was, but that was a smart man.
Zach Taylor would be on the hot seat for literally any other organization.
That smart man is also running an incredible cause, which is the Kickoff Confidence Shoe Drive coming your way on Saturday, August the 8th. You have the opportunity to donate to help Ramon Foster, who, of course, that was, raise some money for children in need. It's an incredible thing that Ramon does every year. For these last few years, and will continue to do so. Also, he hates the Bengals.
We are within
thezone.com.
We are within $1,400 of hitting our goal, and I think as a group we should just go ahead and group up and say we're going to blow that out of the water.
I may just donate again.
We got a giveaway for Friday Fire?
We do have a giveaway. It is Weezer tickets.
Nice.
October 9th at Bridgestone Arena with special guest The Shins and Silver Sun Pickups. I like that. We need to have more anatomically correct bands. Come see the vertebrae. How about the phalanges?
The clavicle.
Yeah.
Clavicle's actually pretty good.
Ooh.
Because that sounds like the Clash.
The jejunums.
The hell is that?
You've never been hitting your jejunum?
No.
It's a guaranteed way to throw up. You've also never seen semi-pro, I guess.
No.
Jackie Moon's never thrown up. Oh, you've never thrown up, Jackie? Oh, I've never thrown up. Well, hold on. Wham! Hit him right in the jejunum.
615-737-1045, the number. Call in. Tell us your Friday Fire. What was the thing that was positive that happened to you this week? Sports, professional, personal, or otherwise. You call in. You give us your submission. You give yourself the opportunity to win some Weezer tickets as a result. for the opportunity to get a pair of tickets to see the upcoming Weezer concert. 615-737-1045, the number. We're going to give you ours. You can give us yours here in just a second. 615-737-1045 if you would like the opportunity to win those Weezer tickets. It's Ascend, you said, Robert?
Bridgestone.
Bridgestone. Yeah, act like Weezer, I imagine, would be playing Bridgestone. By the way, speaking of Ascend, did you guys see Hillary Duff at Ascend last night?
I didn't, but Cheyenne was upset that she did not find out quicker.
What a revival Hillary Duff is having, man. Like, just disappeared for years. And now she's back, and she's just totally bringing back all the vibes from the Lizzie McGuire days, it seems like.
Now, I watched Lizzie McGuire growing up, right? That's Disney Channel.
I never watched Lizzie McGuire. I did watch Zoe 101.
So you're right there in Cheyenne's wheelhouse.
Well, she was taken off air after the teenage pregnancy situation.
Yes,
correct.
But I don't know if you couldn't have talked me into going to the Lizzie McGuire concert last night. I can't imagine there were many men in the crowd. Just for the nostalgia of it, I think I would have been interested in that. Anyway, 615-737-1045. Speaking of nostalgia, Weezer is right about that same era. So, if you want the opportunity to win those tickets, just give us a call. Give us your Friday Fire. Lucas, my Friday Fire is Titans Media. There's a couple of cool stories that I'd like to highlight, if I could. Teresa Walker is covering her 30th training camp. 30 years covering the Tennessee Titans / Houston Oilers / Tennessee Oilers. What were they called when they were at the Liberty Bowl? Was that Tennessee Oilers?
Yep.
Yeah. So she has covered every phase of this pro sports franchise, and she covers all sports in the state of Tennessee. She is the bureau chief for the Associated Press in the state of Tennessee when it comes to sports. Maybe that's not the exact right title, but she handles all the sports. Teresa announced this year that after 30 seasons, this will be her last full season covering the Tennessee Titans, and that she would be there for home games through the fall, but that would conclude her day-to-day coverage of the Titans. So I would like to say congratulations to Teresa. She's not completely done. She's not leaving the AP, anything like that. She's not outright retiring. She's just taking a step back because she's been doing the job of, I don't know, like 10 people for 30 years. So well done by Teresa. It makes me happy. She calls me her work son, and that's something I've always laughed at when she gives me a hard time about my haircut or, you know, my professionalism or lack thereof or what have you. But I have such love and respect for Teresa Walker, as we all do. And so I'm sorry that she will not be around as often. I'm glad that she's not completely leaving. I'd also like to give a shout out to Jill Jelnick, who has done the job of 10 people for Fox 17, because I don't know if people understand the state of local TV. It's not in a great spot. Jill Jelnick has been a one-woman sports department. When did Dave Foster leave Fox 17? I mean, that was right around the time that I got here. Jill's been doing it for at least 5 years and doing all of the sports and carrying her own camera equipment and shooting her own stuff at practice. Robert, I know she's a proud ECU alum, so you have particular respect for Jill Jelnick. I have respect for Jill Jelnick because there are not many people who would want to do that job, who could do that job, and who could do that job without bitching. She has never complained once. She always has a great attitude, so tremendous respect to two women in our industry. And then finally, Teron Davenport, who deserves a little bit of shine, even though I know Teron does not do it for the shine. We get the Titans provide us a meal during training camp because we were there for many hours during the day. And so we usually we almost always get a lunch that the team provides to us in the media room. And there are oftentimes a lot of leftover food. Teron, for several years, has been taking the excess plates, the excess packages of food, and distributing them to those in the unhoused community here around the facility on his way as he travels home. He's always done a great service to them by delivering meals that would just go to waste in the Titans practice facility. And I know, Lucas, you said you saw him doing that yesterday, so it's a good reminder that, you can do good things without being publicized for them. Teron is a great example of that. So respect for all three, of course.
Robert and I caught Teron walking out of the facility to his car with a huge pile of these to-go boxed up lunches and doing a balancing act. So we rushed over to take some of them off his hands and help him get them to the truck. But TD does that very under the radar. So somebody's got to make sure that he gets his shine for that, because he will not be the one to do it. Yes. So, yes.
Sorry, that was a little long-winded.
It was long-winded.
No, that's good. All of those people deserve shine.
Teresa, legend.
Lucas says, yes, that was long-winded. Shut up.
Jill Jelnick, rock star. Teron Davenport, man of the people. But we already knew all of these things. My Friday Fire goes to standing up against greed. It's nice. It's refreshing when this happens. And we're not going to, we already talked about what's happening with FIFA President Gianni Infantino trying to sell World Cup stakes to private equity, and how UEFA, the governing body for Europe, has unanimously opposed it and said they will boycott the World Cup. Now, CONCACAF, the North American governing body, has unanimously opposed this, said they will boycott FIFA tournaments if this goes through. The Asian Confederation said they will boycott FIFA events if this goes through. Gianni Infantino's senior advisor and right-hand man at FIFA, Carlos Cordero, has stepped down from his position, has denounced this proposal to sell World Cup stakes to private equity. And the latest of it is FIFA Chief Operating Officer Kevin Lamore, who has publicly called for his own president to be removed from office, saying, quote, "If that means I lose my job, then so be it."
That's right.
It's nice when this happens, because it's rare when this happens.
Stand up to tyranny. Stand up to greed. Unless I am involved in that tyranny and aforementioned greed, and then it's good.
Then I defend it. Do we think that there's any political motivations behind this?
Maybe. I'm not going to rule out the idea of Carlos Cordero, the senior advisor to Infantino, stepping away, and then maybe he becomes the opponent to run against Gianni Infantino in FIFA's next presidential election, which is checks notes in a few months. But either way, loving the response and the journalism that's been done on this to help elicit this sort of response to prevent the World Cup just being sold to pad pockets and not being something that is there for the world's game.
My Friday Fire, I want to shine up Ramon Foster a little bit with his kickoff to confidence, and I'm happy to announce to you guys that we are now sitting at 75% of the goal accomplished.
Keep it going.
For his kickoff confidence. It's
Link is in the chat.
It's in the chat. Next Saturday, August 8th, they will be doing this, so you still have a little bit of time to donate. But if you have the money, I wanted to share this story, and Ramon would probably hate it if I shared this, because he's not that kind of guy. But this is his third year doing this shoe drive. And the first year that he did this, no fault of his own. I mean, this is the station's fault. We kind of jumped into it very quickly and didn't really put the marketing or the social media behind it to get the help that it needed. And the first year that Ramon did this, there were very few donations. In fact, it was terribly small. And Ramon had decided that he was going to foot the bill no matter what. And in the time when I think $25 were raised the first year that he did this, Ramon said, nope, I've got this. And he footed the entire bill. He didn't publicize it. He didn't run out and tell everybody. But my Friday Fire is how much this has grown, and where Ramon does not have to do this by himself anymore. He would, and he would wear that badge proudly in silence. But now you guys have already stepped up. We've raised $4,155 to help getting shoes to kids without a full family, to kids of single mothers who might not have the means to provide to these kids. And it's just cool that there's somebody in this community that wants to do that for these kids. So shout out Ramon, and shout out our audience and community for coming together. Let's knock this goal out of the park for Ramon and for these kids.
1045thezone.com. Go donate.
Don't do that with your voice, because then I get emotional.
I can't help it. He's just a man. He's the man.
I thought it was cigarettes. 615-737-1045. We'll take your Friday Fire for the opportunity to win some Weezer tickets. Remember to stay on hold for the opportunity to win those tickets. Robert will get in contact with you after the fact. Let us start with Tim in Mount Juliet.
Yes, sir. Tim Thompson here. It's a personal Friday Fire. My brother and I went to see our mother, who turned 90 years old in June. She was diagnosed with early onset dementia. And when we walked in to see her, she knew our names, and was happy to know that she could remember our names. So that was my Friday Fire, and that was a good thing.
That's beautiful, Tim. Thank you for the call. We do appreciate it. And, as I know that can be difficult. I know people, especially dementia and Alzheimer's, I know that there are differences in the two diseases, but just the tragedy of having a loved one forget critical things about themselves, about their families, that's such a burden for the person obviously dealing with the disease, and also on the family members who are there to help them through that process. So I'm glad that you got that moment, Tim, and that your family got that moment. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Franklin is in Nashville next.
Yeah, I don't like following Tim. That was a good one. But my Friday Fire is just I'm a teacher, and it's still summertime, so life is good, and the Titans are undefeated, and so hope springs eternal there, and Jesus is good.
Vibes are high. Thank you for the call, Franklin. Enjoy the remainder of your summer break. That's got to be coming to a close soon, though, right?
I'm so bad about knowing when the hell kids go back to school.
Which of the two of you are going to have children first? Because it's not going to be me.
I feel like if I was going to have a surprise, I'd have done had one. So I'd say Lucas. I got like a 2-minute or a 2-year window where I'm probably going to put one out. Probably going to sow my wild oats.
Sound like an album.
Got an EP that's dropping.
Yeah, I've been working on
Bert.
it.
Baby Bert.
Oh, Lord.
Lil Bert.
Or as Terry McCormick would call him, Little Such and Such.
Little Such and Such. We can't give him a nickname yet. Cheyenne is convinced that she is having twin girls to start off with.
Well, it's going to be very disappointing for those twin girls when we refer to them as Baby Bert.
Oh, it's going to be very upset with twin girls when they end up looking like me. Good Lord, they're going to be some ugly babies. I don't know if her genes are strong enough to fight off my ugly ass.
Chris and Mount Juliet, our last submission.
Hey, guys. Mine's a little abstract. For the last 2 years, I've been mightily struggling with mental health issues. I'm about to start a 30-day program to hopefully get everything kind of worked out. But the fire part of it is just the absolute number of hands and resources that have been given to myself, my wife, my kids. I just want anybody out there who's struggling to know you got worth, man. You got value, and you got to keep fighting. Never give up. That's just it.
No, it's beautiful.
Chris wins.
Thank you for sharing, Chris.
I love you, Chris.
We appreciate it. And listen, guys, I know some of these things can be difficult to share in a public forum, because this is a very public forum, right? There's 2 million people within the sound of our voices at any given point, which is a crazy thing to think about. But just know that there is a tremendous support system here for you guys to share any struggles or any battles or any good things that are happening to you. And so this is why we love this segment, to hear the stories of strife, but also the way that you guys come through it. So well done by all.
Shout out to Chris.
I hate that we have to pick a winner.
The courage to get help.
Yeah.
Chris wins.
All right. Okay. Very good. 615-737-1045, the number. If you want to chime in, the final hour is next.
12:03, good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. No Titans practice today. They will retake the field tomorrow at Vanderbilt Health Football Center. But there is NFL news today. The latest, Tony Romo has been placed on leave by CBS, according to Adam Schefter, and it'll be J.J. Watt in the booth with Jim Nantz, at least for the time being. The New Orleans Saints yesterday signed wide receiver Chris Olave to a 4-year extension worth up to $132 million. That includes $90 million in guaranteed money. Elsewhere, wide receiver Deebo Samuel is returning to San Francisco. He is on a 1-year deal worth up to $7 million, going back to where he spent the first 6 years of his career. Nashville SC is on the road tomorrow, headed to DC United. They kick off at 6:30. Pregame coverage begins at 6 on 104.5 The Zone. Nashville is 2 points ahead of Miami at the top of the league standings. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Show's moving fast. It's the final hour of the week. It's been a hell of a week as far as the show goes, as far as having football back in our lives. We are back in studio for the first time this week. Titans were scheduled to have practice today. Coaching staff called an audible. They have a walkthrough of sorts and meetings, but they are not on the practice field, so we are not out there at the Titans practice facility today. I will be back out there tomorrow for practice. Not sure who I'm going to interview yet for Monday's radio show, but we will have updates for you on that a little later on. 615-737-1045 is the number. If you would like to participate in the meantime, we would be happy to have your participation. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is how you chime in via the F&M Bank chat, where Ramon and Robert are exchanging I love yous. And Ramon is suggesting that we vote Bert for president because he almost got me to cry. Almost. I want to do an exercise here, and I didn't really prepare the two of you for this. So maybe it doesn't have staying power, but we'll see. I want to talk about the people who we think will define the upcoming NFL season. And there may be a Titans component to this. I feel like we're going to work our way through. Now, there are lists being put out everywhere. There's a list by Greg Allman that says the 100 people who will shape the upcoming NFL season. 100 is too much, and we only have an hour left, so we're not going to do 100 people. But I figure we narrow this down to a quarter of that, 25, and we spend the final hour doing that. Who is the most important person in the NFL this season? Because there are answers to this that are on the field and off. And there are cop-out answers to this, as a matter of fact, as far as how you can go about, pigeonholing important and what you define as important.
My mind, when
I say that, who do you immediately jump to?
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes, who had a fall off last year with an injury-laden Chiefs squad. Obviously, his ACL injury ended his season. Titans played the Chiefs literally the following week and beat them by multiple scores. And here we are in late July. Patrick Mahomes is out there at training camp. There appears to be no doubt whatsoever that Pat is going to play in week 1, that he is a full go for this season. By the way, this offseason has me totally reframing what I believe to be like medical timelines for Achilles and ACL injuries. Like the dude tore his ACL in December. My brain says, oh, man, see you in week 8 next year or something. Daniel Jones blew out his Achilles late in the season. Both of those guys look like they're on track to start in week 1, but I digress. When's the last time Patrick Mahomes legitimately was the best quarterback in the regular season in the National Football League?
What year did he throw 55 touchdown passes? What?
He's never had 55, but he had 50 in his second year.
Peyton had 55.
That was 2018.
2018. That's probably the last time I'd say definitively that he's been the best quarterback.
He led the league in passing in 2022, in passing yards and in touchdowns. but his numbers have taken dips. He's been below 4,000 each of the last 2 years. Obviously, last year, he tears the ACL with 3 games to go. He's 6-8 as a starter last year. Chiefs had a bad year under Andy Reid. So my mind goes straight to Patrick Mahomes, if he can be Patrick Mahomes again, and to give us some sort of answer on what the Chiefs are currently with Travis Kelce aging, Mahomes coming off the injury as we head into, oh gosh, what is this in the Andy Reid era?
Of just the Chiefs or in the NFL?
Just the Chiefs.
Generally?
I mean, it's 13 years of the Andy Reid era.
Really? It's been that long?
But my question about Patrick Mahomes, who famously, and it's not just him, it's Andy Reid players, plays in the preseason. You going to risk Pat Mahomes in the preseason this year?
I bet they put him out there.
It is Andy Reid. That's what Andy Reid does.
I mean, Blaine would be able to answer this question better.
Oh, Blaine talks about it all the time.
Yeah.
He got up there later in his career, and he got there and realized, oh, no, we're full bore every practice.
Do you think there's somebody in the medical staff in the Chiefs building being like, Andy, buddy, please, I will give you all of the cheeseburgers if you just don't put him out there for 3/4 of a preseason game.
At least he plays in multiple preseason games every year.
I think he plays in all of them, right? I mean, now that there's only 3.
So we just by proxy, we consider the Chiefs to be Super Bowl contenders, yes? Because Patrick Mahomes is on their football team.
Because they have the best coach in the NFL. I believe Andy Reid is the best coach in the NFL, active. They have the most accomplished quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he's the best quarterback. I don't think he's the most talented quarterback. I would probably say that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen deserve a seat at that table as far as how much higher their ceiling is than Pat. I think Pat's obviously excellent. But yeah, they are Super Bowl contenders by default. I think that's okay to say. Now, we're gonna have 3 different answers here, I think. But we'll see. Robert, who is the most important person in the NFL this season? Because we're going to do 25 of these. But I wanted to start at the top just to see where your guys' head was at.
The most important person.
Who will shape the NFL season the most from your perspective?
Oh, wow.
If that's how I'm defining important. Somebody who has the ability to impact the season. It's a team sport, right? It's very difficult for an individual to have an overwhelming impact. But for all the different ripple effects that this individual can cause, who will most shape the NFL season?
To their team or to the league?
To the league.
I think this year I'm going to have to go with Myles Garrett. The Myles Garrett trade was seismic, not just for the fact of this loser team has this Hall of Fame player on its roster, but the fact that this juggernaut team added another future Hall of Famer. And I think that they're probably favored in every single game they have this season. They're probably the team who has the best chance to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl since the Brady team that got so close to do it. Maybe a Chiefs team thrown in there somewhere. But I think this year will be dictated by the Rams, and everyone else is going to be playing for second fiddle.
I'm going to flip the side of the ball, though, and say Stafford at 37.
Okay.
Because if Ty Simpson is quarterbacking Myles Garrett's football team, then he might as well have just stayed with the Browns.
Or the defense could be so good that it doesn't matter. Like, what if it's a Ravens Trent Dilfer situations where this defense can just smother people into submission, where you're winning games 13-10, but it doesn't matter because your defense is so good at closing out games.
Maybe this is too small a sample size for me to make a definitive statement, but I think by that logic, the Broncos would have made it past the Patriots, right? Because Stidham, and again, weather was a huge factor in the second half of that game. All the points that were scored in that game were scored in the first half before the snow hit them. But I don't think we're in that. You have to score. You have to be able to score. We're not in that era of football anymore. The defense is an incredible cheat code. It gives Bo Nix the opportunity to play for an AFC championship. It gives Sam Darnold the ability to have an off first half in a Super Bowl, and then, when things are in hand, be comfortable and lean on a run game and things of that nature. It is an incredible cheat code, and I think we criminally underrate defense every year just because we'd rather watch offense, and we know more about offense than we do about defense. But I think if Stafford, 37, there was a change. We were talking about him as if he may not play last year because of this back. It sounds like he's okay. Like, it sounds like he's in fine shape. And, did he miss a game last season? I think he was available the whole way through.
Yeah, I don't think Stafford missed a game.
He's the reigning MVP. I think if he If he misses any significant amount of time, that turns this thing on its head because they are the definitive Super Bowl favorites and should be. But all that good work will be for nothing. It'll be Sauce Gardner on the Colts if Matt Stafford isn't healthy.
I would add Joe Brady to this list.
I think that's a really good submission.
Like you talk about the possibilities there of Super Bowl contention, which we expect from Josh Allen and the Bills every year, to the potential fall off there if Joe Brady just isn't up for this. And Josh Allen can keep their heads above the water to an extent, regardless of who the head coach is. Like, I firmly believe that. But, man, so much hinges on. Talk about people with a lot at stake in 2026. That's Joe Brady.
Robert, who's next? So we've got Patrick Mahomes, Myles Garrett, Matt Stafford. Joe Brady's the first coach on this list. The people in the NFL, we're just basically going to do this for the final hour because I think this is a fun way to kind of revisit some NFL storylines. Who would you go next on that list?
I would go with who I believe to be the biggest threat to the biggest competitor in the NFL, and I would say Ben Johnson. Because the NFC is it's not barren as far as contenders go, but who is someone who has the offense and the offensive mind to potentially go up against McVay in a chess match and challenge them? I'm not saying the 49ers can't, because Mike McDonald is probably another coach that should come up pretty soon because he is the offensive or the defensive counterpoint to McShay's huge offensive brain. But I wonder if the Super Bowl slump doesn't get to them a little bit, where Seattle doesn't have and they won it with someone who is not an upper echelon quarterback, who doesn't have all of the intangibles that are required to be a premium quarterback. But I feel like Ben Johnson's mind, coupled with Caleb Williams, is something to not be understated. So I would throw Ben Johnson in there. I'm not sure he would rank exactly 5th or 6th on this list, but he has to be one of the more instrumental parts of this football season as far as from a talking standpoint.
I think that's a good submission because the Bears do not have a history of success, but Ben Johnson seems to know what he's doing, right? Caleb Williams is an obviously ascending talent. There's reason to believe that he can continue to make progress, and they don't have to live and die at the end of games in the most dramatic fashion you've ever seen in your life if they're just playing more consistent football from the jump. Their defense is a problem. I don't trust their defense right now. Their defense was hugely lucky last season in their turnover ratio. Their what's
turnover differential?
Turnover differential. Thank you, Robert. In their turnover differential, that's not something that can be recreated, right? That's the most difficult thing to replicate year over year because turnover has a great deal of luck. Kevin Byers not on that team anymore for what it's worth. He's a Patriot. How many of us forgot about that? So I think Ben Johnson is an interesting figure here because they have to make significant progress as an offense, even though they were a fun offense and a successful offense last year, because they have all manner of questions to answer on that defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with one that I think is a little bit off the board here, and I wonder what the two of you make of me submitting Arch Manning as being one of the most important figures to this upcoming NFL season. Okay, are we intrigued?
It would depend, and hungry. It would depend how you qualify this.
So to me, Arch's failure or success at the top of what is supposed to be an incredibly important quarterback draft, we know that there are going to be several teams that struggle. We know that there's going to be a point in the NFL season where teams start to focus on who might be available to them in April as opposed to who their next opponent is in December. I think that Arch's success or failure with Texas this year has a huge impact on not just this upcoming NFL season, but obviously the following NFL season. There's not that many college players. Jeremiah Smith, maybe you could make an argument for, but we're talking about the most important position in sports and quarterback. I think Arch Manning's 2026 season has huge ripple effects on this year's NFL season.
How, though?
Because if he lives up to the hype, I think it'll make it a lot easier for teams to accept losing. I don't think you'll see teams actively tanking, or at least
Well,
admittedly tanking.
Is that not the same thing?
Passively tanking. The Titans were passively tanking at the end of last year. They were selling off parts. You started seeing guys being traded that didn't need to be traded. Sweat obviously got moved out of here. You had Brownlee get moved out of here. You had a number of different transactions that didn't make sense to the fan base at the time and didn't make sense to the coaching staff at the time, but obviously impacted the Titans' 2026 season down the stretch because you were working with Sanusi Kane and whoever the hell else in your secondary at the end of the year.
So you don't think that a team would be willing to arch it up for Arch this year?
Arch it up for Arch?
You know, like toot that thing up? Like really just surrender?
You don't like that submission?
I just think that, yes, Arch Manning obviously carries more weight for obvious reasons, but this quarterback class, there's going to be...
There's options.
Yeah. Like, if Arch Manning has a disappointing campaign and doesn't look like the number one overall pick, then there could be a Dante Moore. CJ Carr, who is basically the co-favorite for the Heisman, the Notre Dame quarterback. Who knows? I mean, Brendan Sorsby, you know, wherever he ends up in the discussion.
What's he going to do this year?
Yeah.
What do you think he spends his time doing?
His best.
I mean, Trinidad
Can't even do
Chambliss
that,
could
though.
have a monster year. Like, it is a far deeper quarterback class than last year. I get what you're saying, but I just don't know how dramatically it changes NFL teams' approach.
I just got your joke on Arch it up for Arch.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was too on the nose.
I've got training camp brain. I'm sorry. I might as well have COVID brain fog again.
Yeah, all right. If you're going to go off the board for people that can affect this season the most.
Because I think that's a fun exercise, right? Because it doesn't have to be conventional. It doesn't have to be quarterback X or pass rusher Y, right?
I'm going to go with Sean McVay's usage of 13 personnel last year.
Okay.
Because we've already seen the impact of what it had on the NFL draft. Like more tight ends selected in the NFL draft than a ton of years previous. I don't have the exact facts for you, but I think that we talked about it for a long time. Oh, the league is going smaller. The league is going faster. This may finally be the trend where it bucks the other way, where now size and strength and strength in numbers becomes more of an offensive dictating point.
Show me a light box, I'll run your ass over.
Right. If you guys don't have the guys to stick up with us up front, we're just going to run it down your throat and deflate the ball and limit how many possessions you get and really get back to smash mouth football. I wonder how many teams are built to handle that cumbersome workload that comes with running the football, the attrition that comes with that, and how many teams have convinced themselves that they have the guns to run with that. I think that's going to be an interesting case study throughout the NFL this entire season.
I like that. Now, we've gone out of order because Lucas was supposed to go next, but that's fine.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Lucas.
No, that was a far more insightful answer. So
that's a good one.
Real quick, let's run through what we've said so far.
I've got Patrick Mahomes, and again, this is in no particular order. Patrick Mahomes, Myles Garrett, Matt Stafford, Joe Brady, Ben Johnson, Arch Manning, Sean McVay's personnel trends is how I wrote that down. Because we feel like he's kind of dictating stuff like that right now in the league, right? As far as being on the forefront, like Shanahan gets a lot of credit for this, and obviously the two of them have a connection that is you almost can't separate them other than they coach two different teams in the division. But I think of McVay as being on the forefront of trends that people in the league offensively are chasing.
And he doubled down, right? Like they had a good tight end room last year. Like Colby Parkinson is not a name that people equate to being an elite tight end, but they had him, Tyler Higbee, and a second-round tight end in Terrence Ferguson. And then they went back this year in the second round again and got Max Clare. So they have 4 tight ends who, hypothetically, at any situation could act as number 1 tight end given an injury or a specific matchup. Like, he doubled down on his work last year. I think that's just to say they're going to come back and hit people over the head with it again and probably even better.
Can I give mine coming up next?
Sure. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. Welcome back to the show. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. This exercise that we're in the middle of probably would have been better for next week because, Lucas, the Hall of Fame game is next Thursday.
Wow. Yes.
So
Panthers and Cardinals. Two teams that most definitely will not shape the 2026 NFL season.
Will there be a Panther or a Cardinal on this list?
Probably not.
Probably not.
My next submission.
Well, just we're talking about people who will shape the NFL season,
Yes.
as Lucas just mentioned. To recap just quickly, because we're submitting names, we're submitting concepts, we're submitting people who are in college football.
Yes.
Mahomes, Garrett, Stafford, Joe Brady, Ben Johnson, Arch Manning, Sean McVay's personnel trends are the list of things that will define the upcoming NFL season.
49ers injury luck.
Oh, this is a good one.
And now this includes Kyle Shanahan. Coming off of the situation with the car wreck, Kyle Shanahan still is not running 49ers practices as far as I'm concerned, right? Like, we have not seen an update. He has not returned to training camp.
Chris Forrester until you see otherwise.
And I remind folks, the 49ers are by far the most well-traveled team in the NFL in 2026. They're going to Australia in week 1. You look up and down their schedule outside of the divisional games, where obviously they're going to go away from home to Seattle and LA and Arizona. They go to New York. They play the Giants in December. They go to Dallas. They go to Atlanta. They go to Kansas City. The 49ers are going to be, what was the number? 14,000 miles that they're covering?
It's something outrageous.
In 2020. It's absurd.
It's disgusting.
It's almost double the next most in the NFL. And obviously coming off of a year where they manufactured a competitive team that got to the playoffs despite just the insane rash of injuries that prompted all the electrical substation talk. They do have some aging players that have been injury prone in their careers on that roster. I'm looking at Mike Evans, who they brought in at wide receiver. We talked already about Ricky Pearsall and the issues he's already having in his career. It's why they had to go sign Deebo Samuel. How will they utilize Deebo Samuel? Is he going to go right back to being that receiver running back hybrid that we came to know?
It's a lot harder at 30 than it is at 22.
It's a lot to ask. Again, for a team that's had as much bad injury luck as the Niners. George Kittle, what's his health going to be like? Trent Williams, man. Trent Williams is 38 years old. Just turned 38 about 2 weeks ago. Will Christian McCaffrey have another year where he, through all of this, has kind of remained healthy during his time in San Francisco? It's going to have a lot to do with the NFC West race. What the Niners' injury luck looks like going all the way up to their head coach, who is obviously dealing with some non-football related injuries, but some really serious stuff coming off that car wreck.
Is there any world in which he doesn't make that Australia trip? Because then you're talking about play caller.
Again, the concussion stuff is serious right now with Kyle Shanahan. We haven't seen the images from immediately after the car wreck.
Nobody has, apparently.
Well, no, he showed local media.
Oh, okay.
That was the thing. He brought them into the office and showed them, but they're not for public consumption. But apparently it was pretty gnarly. It was a pretty bad situation for Kyle Shanahan. So
the age of that team.
And exactly. Like, this is an
Mike
aging
Evans is
team.
no spring chicken.
Mike Evans is the first name I said. I mean, this is a player that has had hamstring issues each of the last 2 years. Name a 30-plus-year-old wide receiver who you saw bounce back from multiple years of soft tissue injuries at the age of 32.
Yeah.
And he's going to be 33 in week. He turns 33 in a little less than a month.
Yeah, man, that's.
So you talk about.
I watched it happen to Julio in real time. Hop is the only one, but he didn't have a history of. I mean, Hopkins had a suspension prior to getting here.
Yeah.
But I think that was 2 years prior to him getting here.
But you talk about the gulf between ceiling and floor.
Yeah.
Do the Niners have the biggest between what they can be as a contender and what they can be if things continue to go wrong on the injury front with these aging players at critical positions? Like, is there any team?
Who else would be second on that?
With that high of a ceiling and that low of a floor? And, the trouble is you could say this about anybody. If any contender just gets riddled by injuries, the bottoming out could happen. But the Niners obviously are coming off a season where that was the biggest talking point. They remained competitive through it, but how sustainable is that?
Yeah, that's the thing. They survived it, to your point. Robert, you're next.
We've been pretty NFC heavy here, so I'm going to go AFC to the two, and I'm going to name two people here, which is probably against the rules, but I don't care. I'm a rule breaker. I'm going to go with the two first-year head coaches that are coaching Super Bowl favorite teams, and that is Joe Brady of the Buffalo Bills and Jesse Minter of the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, for what it's worth, Lucas did submit Brady. But we will. That's
okay. Well, then I can just go Jesse Minter then.
No, but the first year coaches coaching contenders is a fine category in and of itself. It does include Joe Brady.
Because if you look at the odds, both of those teams are towards the top of the betting favorites as far as teams that could go to a Super Bowl, and I believe they are AFC favorites to go to the Super Bowl. So it seems incredibly cumbersome to me, and maybe more so. Both of them have experience in their franchise respectively, right? Joe Brady has been there for a number of years with Josh Allen. Jesse Minter was a graduate assistant and a defensive back coach under John Harbaugh. So they both understand how historically these organizations have been run. But it is one thing to know how they're run and a totally other thing to run it yourself. So both of them have prolific quarterbacks that they have to answer to. Both of them have new offenses that they are trying to figure out. Both of them have owners who are ready to win now.
And are both calling plays, if I'm not mistaken?
Both calling plays on opposite sides of the ball, but you are correct. Joe Brady will call the plays offensively, and Jesse Minter will call the plays defensively for the Ravens.
A lot to take on.
A ton to take on. I mean, huge personalities, huge expectations. And I would think that in any other given year, your expectations for a first-year head coach, no matter how good the team is, would not be Super Bowl or bust. I think from the outside looking in, that is unfair expectations for a first-year head coach, but the NFL is a machine. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen do not stop aging, do not phase out of their prime just because they have a brand-new head coach. So both of those guys have an incredible load to lift, and I think how they handle that will be a picture moving forward for proud franchises who want to be competitors but had to make a move off a long-standing head coach. More so for the Ravens, but Sean McDermott wasn't a spring chicken either. I mean, he was the most successful head coach in the since 2000 for the Buffalo Bills.
I like that submission a lot. Brent, I was listening to 3HL because for some reason Dawn called me and then held the phone up to the microphone to interview me about something that I said yesterday on the show. But Brent had said that Lamar, each of his MVP seasons, Robert, you tell me if this is correct, and I'm not saying that Brent was incorrect, but I just want to make sure I've got it right. Each of Lamar's MVP seasons was his first season working with a new offensive coordinator. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's relevant at all. And obviously Jesse Minter is a head coach and a defensive play caller, but he is also dealing with a 29-year-old offensive coordinator. What's this guy's name? Declan what?
Declan Doyle.
Declan Doyle. From the Bears.
He is a legacy, right? He trained under Sean Payton. He worked with Ben Johnson. I think he's 31 this year. 30
he might
or
be
31.
younger than that.
He's younger than everyone in this room.
He's 30, yeah.
Think about that.
Davis Webb is younger than everybody, right? All of us?
Davis Webb's 31. He's older than me. But Declan Doyle is 30.
Look at the way he said that.
Look
at the way he said that.
Does Declan Doyle have an official birthday before? Because I'm still not convinced this guy wasn't born in a lab. No one can tell us his birthday.
Wikipedia says March 6, 1996.
Okay. So. That is not what was happening 4 months ago when the hiring was going on, and no one could find out how actually old this guy was.
Really?
It was like an NBA draft prospect from Africa. He's like, no, I'm 21. They're like, this guy's 28. We have no clue how old this guy is.
Like an I am 12 situation.
So we're 9 through. I said we were going to do 25, and we've got half of this segment and the final segment to go. I'm going to say the New England Patriots across the board, okay? Because I thought about just saying Vrabel, but I don't think it's just Vrabel, right? Vrabel has stuff this offseason, obviously, that has made a lot of noise around the New England Patriots. But I think the A.J. Brown component of this is fascinating. I don't know how much A.J. Brown has left. He was still a 1,000-yard receiver in one of his worst seasons last year, so there's reason to believe that A.J. can be a productive player in the mold of DeAndre Hopkins, maybe not the exact same type of receiver, but that their games can age relatively well. He's a definitive upgrade over anything that they had in that wide receiver room last year. Mm-hmm. I also think Drake May is he was one vote off of MVP last year, of tying Matt Stafford, which is a crazy thing to say, if I'm being completely honest, because I don't think it was that close between Drake May and Matt Stafford, but whatever. I don't have an MVP vote, so what do I know? Drake May, A.J. Brown, Mike Vrabel, the Patriots in general. That, Lucas, to me, is the biggest regression candidate in the sport this year. Last year, for me, it was the Commanders, and I had no idea that Jaden Daniels was going to experience the level of injury that he did. I just felt like there was going to be some level of regression to the mean. It was not going to be that much of a rocket ship 2 years in a row. I think the Patriots can again be a division champion, or I think they can be a 7-win team this year if things don't go to plan, because I think that offensive line still has questions. They invested heavily in their defense. A.J. Brown is an interesting component here. Mm-hmm. And Mike Vrabel, I don't know if I don't know if it's going to impact him at all of this crap. Maybe it won't. Maybe it's all much ado about nothing, and it's just for the TMZ salaciousness of it. But I think the Patriots as an organization are I certainly put them in the top 10 of things that would impact the NFL season.
I've got some great news to share.
Okay.
After a large donation made by a man named John Tucker, we are at 92%.
Well done, John.
Way to our 5,500 goal for Ramon's Kickoff Confidence Shoe Drive. We have $5,065 collected. Our goal is $5,500 by next Saturday. I think we can blow that out of the water.
Keep it going.
Thank you to John. Thank you to everybody that's donated.
John Tucker. John Tucker must live. All hail John Tucker.
I don't think John did this for the fame, but thank you, John. That is a huge, I mean, that's 10 kids sponsored right there with one donation. That's huge. Appreciate everybody donating, and we are right knocking on the door of this goal. I fully expect us to blow the doors off of this thing. Appreciate everybody helping out.
Awesome. 1045thezone.com is where you can go to help donate to Ramon's shoe drive. Well, it's a shoe drive that Ramon is lending his voice and talents to.
That's right. Out of the box and from your father,
yes,
or the organization.
And what I love about it is the whole design of it, because notice they're not taking your secondhand shoes.
Right.
The whole point of it is to give kids new shoes that they can be proud of when they walk into school, right? And not our sneakers that have been sitting around that we haven't used in a couple of years.
100%.
So I love the way this is set up.
Lucas, I believe it's your go. Just to refresh, Patriots, first-year coaches, working contenders, Niners injury luck, McVay's personnel trends, Arch Manning, Ben Johnson, Matt Stafford, Myles Garrett, Patrick Mahomes.
Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Is Jaden Daniels an ascending player in this league, or is Jaden Daniels on the C.J. Stroud path?
Oh.
Do we get an answer to that question?
CJ's a really good submission, too.
In 2026.
Kroll has been back here telling me, hey, you should say CJ.
Kroll, you can play if you want.
I'll give my nomination to Kroll next. I'll let him speak his case.
But taking a look at the NFC East, how wide open do we consider the NFC East to be? Eagles are still the most talented team in the division, but I really like the Cowboys this year. But I'd call the Eagles the most toxic team in that division. Now, A.J. Brown's gone. I don't know what that does. They made some changes on the coaching staff.
Yeah, it's Sean Mannion is the new offensive coordinator. It feels like they have a new OC every year.
And famously, every other one hits in the Nick Sirianni era.
And
they churn them
definitely
out.
Did not.
Nope. So they're due for that process to hit this year. But Jaden Daniels, and if he can stay healthy this year for the Commanders, to me, would do a ton to shape the NFC East race.
It would make it more interesting for sure. Nobody's talking about the Giants, right? Nobody needs to.
Nobody's talking about the Commanders either.
Is there another team in the NFL that could impact the future of their division more than the Commanders under this scope? If the Commanders win the NFC West, or NFC East, excuse me, you would imagine that heads would roll in Philly. Every year, heads have rolled in Philly through hire or fire, one or the two. The coordinators have been the ones on the chopping block. But I would imagine eventually the rope that Sirianni has will get to the end of its frayed knot.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that he would not be allowed back in Philadelphia. You could almost say the same thing about Schottenheimer, right? He was like the backup hire for them when they pivoted off of Mike McCarthy.
I like him.
I do too, but if they reach the end of this and they fall underneath a Commanders team that is not highly touted, that I don't think anyone would argue is the most talented talented, or even secondary, third area, fourth area. They're probably the fifth most talented in that division. There's only 4 teams in it. If they were the ones who were able to ride on the back of Jaden Daniels to victory, does Dallas say, hey, this great quarterback class is coming up, let's blow it up and figure a new one out and ship Dak off? The Giants stay in the basement. Philadelphia, heads are going to roll with Sirianni. If they don't finish in first, if they don't have a ticket to the playoffs, like, I feel like this guy's the canary in the coal mine, where if Jaden Daniels and the Commanders are able to pull this off, they could have everybody else go back to sit at the kids' table.
I don't think that Jerry would do anything rash. In fact, I think Jerry holds firm too long, if anything, which is kind of counter to the way that we think about Jerry, right? So I do think that you're on to something there. I just, for as much rash or irrational behavior as people want to assign to the Cowboys, they don't actually do it that often. Like the Micah thing was kind of crazy. And I think that, when you have a huge example of that, you can assign it to, like, I think Vols fans carry a stigma from the Schiano Sunday, right? Where, yes, they are a passionate fan base. Yes, they are insane to a degree, but I don't think they're as, insane as people want to make them day in and day out. Okay, so Jaden Daniels is a good one. Robert, you're next.
I am going to cede the floor to Kroll, whose submission would like to be C.J. Stroud.
Go ahead, Kroll.
So I think C.J. Stroud is the most interesting man in the NFL entering this season because we all agree the Texans' defense is elite. And I think if he plays the way he did his rookie year, this team could win the Super Bowl. But at the same time, his 2 playoff games to end last season might just be the 2 worst playoff games I've ever seen as a quarterback play.
Correct.
We were having conversations at halftime of that Patriots game asking if DeMeco Ryans should bench him. Even if a quarterback plays poorly in the playoffs, when was the last time you've heard a conversation about that in the divisional round? So I think if C.J. Stroud plays poorly, there's a good chance he's on a new team next year. But if he plays well, the Texans could win the Super Bowl. So he is my submission.
That's a good, high ceiling, high floor type of situation.
Yeah.
Because they really do feel like they're a quarterback away, which is not a conversation we were having 2 years ago about C.J. Stroud. Like,
how about Kroll sticking the dismount?
I did well. You were right to we pick our spots. We pick our spots. Okay, my go. We have not
All right,
had...
mad boring, dude. Lucas, who you got? Mad boring.
When I said that we should do that more often, I didn't mean me every time.
I love how the dap up. I love how he daps himself up. Mad boring, dude. Mad boring.
Mad boring, dog. If you haven't seen that video, it's one of the funniest videos on the internet. Mad boring. Mad boring.
It's like how to respectfully get out of any conversation that's not entertaining.
There's not a less respectful way than to yell in a person's face, mad boring.
Mad boring, dog. Mad boring.
I mentioned Micah Parsons. I'm going to submit Micah Parsons here. We haven't done a defensive player since Myles Garrett. Micah Parsons blew his ACL on the same day that Patrick Mahomes did. That's a huge amount of pressure on the Green Bay Packers to find ways to create pressure without him. They very much did not. I think Matt LaFleur, he got an extension this offseason, so that's worth noting. But I think it's probably on shakier ground than an extension might lead you to believe, and Jordan Love is an interesting figure here. Micah Parsons, though, is a game changer. He's one of the few legitimate game changers that we have anywhere in the NFL when he's right. I think Micah Parsons returning to full health or not looking like the best version of himself has huge implications for that division, where every team – is there another division like the NFC North last year where every team finished with a winning record? The AFC North has done this a couple of times, but obviously that was not the case for the Browns last year.
Yeah, Browns are tough. NFC West is tough because of the Cardinals. Maybe the AFC West? The Raiders suck.
So I think that's – it may not be the best division in football, but it's as competitive as any division in football, top to bottom, where Detroit was the last place team and they were 9-8.
It feels wide open. That division.
Yeah. So
wide open.
I think Micah has huge effect on this season, whether he's healthy or whether he's not.
Which is why I'm surprised we haven't mentioned Caleb Williams.
We haven't mentioned Caleb Williams. Oh, we're only 12 through.
Yeah. Caleb Williams and that year 3 progression after the leap we saw last year. The Bears did what they did in a very unsustainable way, playing comeback kid, just a thrill ride, especially in that back half of the year and in the playoffs against Green Bay. But Caleb Williams and that Ben Johnson marriage in year 3 now of the Caleb Williams era in Chicago, there are questions and concerns about the Bears, but can he continue to lift Chicago in that wide open NFC North?
Robert?
This one's tough for me. I feel like we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
This is the fun part, though.
This is the fun part. I'm going to go with Sean Payton. I feel like Sean Payton has backed himself into a corner where there aren't really that many Super Bowl or bust teams in the league. But the way he has constructed this, they have really pushed their chips all the way in with the Jalen Waddle acquisition before the draft, getting rid of a first-round pick. And he's now put himself in a precarious situation where this house of cards feels like it's held up by one dingy card that people have folded the corner on, being Bo Nix. The reporting around his injury, the reporting around the recovery, the reporting around how close he is to 100% going into the season have all been ambiguous at best. We really don't know how well Bo Nix is feeling going into the season. And I'm sure if he's asked about it at a podium or if someone catches Sean in a moment of weakness, they would never admit that Bo is not 100%. But the way that I'll go back to the ambiguity of the whole thing. The way this was reported did not leave any kind of confidence for the fact that he would be and is back 100%. It's a great defense, a good offense, a great offensive line. It is built to win right now. Not a year from now, not in a couple free agent acquisition processes. It's built to win right now. And if they succumb to the powerhouse that is the AFC West, the Chiefs charging back, the Chargers charging into this with a new offensive wonderkin behind Justin Herbert.
We haven't got to him yet.
And Mike McDaniels is probably a good submission. I think Sean Payton is looking down the barrel, and he is the guy for the job, but it's like Perry Saturn said. You may whoop my ass, but you're going to have to. Whoever they go up against, they're going to have to beat the hell out of the Broncos. And they're going to have to do it convincingly. Otherwise, I think that this is your AFC 1 seed. There's a world we can live in where the Broncos are a wild card team. There's a world we can live in where there's a number 1 seed, but I don't think there's really a world we can live in where the Broncos are not competing for the playoffs.
I'm going to go with a coordinator, but it's not going to be Mike McDaniel. I'll tell you who that is coming up next.
What's happening? What's happening, good people? Let me go on and tell you while you're walking into your weekend what you need to be looking for. That is a truck. Yeah, Mid-10 Ford, they got you covered. They're going to take care of you. All you got to do is slide in there and let them know, hey, man, Big Slay told me. And they will look out for you. Go in there and holler at my guys, Trey, Matt. They're going to be right there to help you walk through the process of going to get your truck. And guess what? It's nothing that's going to be pressure, no high pressure, just low pressure approach, no gimmicks, no pushy sales tactics. That's not what they're about. They're about getting the job done and getting you comfortable and understanding exactly what you're getting into. It's a one-stop shop. If you need service, Mid-10 Ford, they got you covered. They are the ones you need to be looking for. When it comes to the right vehicle, they got you covered. Even a body shop, service, financing, sales, they got it, all of that. All you got to do is go to 1319 Foster Avenue. Visit mid10fordtrucks.com.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
All right. The 25 most important people to this upcoming NFL season. Patrick Mahomes, no particular order. Patrick Mahomes, Myles Garrett, Matt Stafford, Joe Brady, Ben Johnson, Arch Manning, Sean McVay's personnel trends, Niners injury luck, first-year coaches, working contenders, the Patriots, generally, Jaden Daniels, C.J. Stroud, Micah Parsons, Caleb Williams, Sean Payton, which leaves me to my coordinator submission. Any of you know who Christian Parker is? He's the Cowboys defensive coordinator.
Oh, I thought that's what that's what was called when you go to, what's it called when people park your car?
Valet?
I thought that's what the valet at my church was called.
Christian Parker?
Yeah.
Your brain, man.
Wish I could have remembered what valet was.
Don't you have to leave soon? Don't you have a flight?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell everybody where you're going and what you're doing.
No,
it's so cool.
It's not important.
No, it is so
Robert, nobody cares.
cool. It is, I care, buddy. I care. Let's be a little selfish. Tell everybody what you're doing this weekend.
I'm going to New York.
For?
Family time.
No.
Yeah, and what do you do?
We're going to the BTS concert at MetLife Stadium.
Okay.
Megan's sister.
No, I don't care anymore.
No, disclaimer. Megan's sister, who's a big BTS fan, bought up a ton of tickets. She flipped a bunch of them. She had
It's a shame. God, he's so damn loud. You can hear him on my mic, even when you fade his down.
She had a bunch left over for the show at MetLife, so I have a free ticket. It's a fun weekend in New York with the in-laws and my fiance. I love her family. We have a great time.
Just shut up.
And, it's a spectacle.
What would you
it's
say?
An experiment.
What would you say your favorite BTS song is?
I can name, the only one I can name is Dynamite because that's like the, yeah, that one.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Oh, that's them.
Yeah, that's them.
Oh, I had no idea.
What about Butter? You know anything about Butter?
No, I don't. I haven't done any homework on this. It's for science.
This is dude.
For science.
What's the worst concert that you got? This is if we still were doing polls.
No, we can do the top 10. We can do this
Chance the
exercise
Rapper.
on Monday. Worst concert you've seen is Chance the Rapper?
Chance this was at Bonnaroo at peak 2017. Like No Problem had just come out.
Yeah.
We were so excited for Chance.
Man.
He was terrible. He was so bad. He's running around. He's out of breath. He's like yelling into the mic. It was awful.
You don't want no problem.
Yes,
no problem.
that's what it was. Like he's running, jumping up and down, out of breath. No problem.
Between cigarettes.
We left. Like this is brutal, man.
Man, I've had really good concert luck because Robert, I think the worst concert I've been to is that Tyler Childers concert you and me went to, and it wasn't even bad. It was just sleepy.
It was just long.
It was just sleepy and long.
Yep, mine was in college. You guys remember Ray Shremmerd? It was like the Black Beatles trend.
Yeah.
They came out, and actually they almost never came out. We had to watch an opening local act for like 2 hours perform all of his hits.
Oh.
There were none.
I think do comedy shows count as concerts? Because that Cat Williams thing.
Oh, that was
rough.
That was awful, and it wasn't even like the audio for every one of the opening acts that he had. I couldn't understand what they were saying.
It was so rough.
And I think that's a Bridgestone problem as much as it is Bridgestone's just not a good concert venue.
Comedy is just also weird in big venues like that. Like I feel like it's just hard to get your point across.
You got to go? Your Uber gets here in a
My
minute.
Uber has no idea where he is.
Oh.
He just texted me, "What building are you in?" The address that I sent you.
Okay.
Hey, who told Blaine we were never going to use his reckless speculation noise again?
No.
You said it on air.
It was my idea. What do you mean? The reckless speculation sound was my idea.
Something else for your reckless speculation. That's what he said.
Get the hell out of here. That's not what I said.
Yeah, he did. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said, Blaine.
That is what he said, Blaine.
Exactly.
You should go in there and whoop his ass.
Blaine.
I bet you won't.
Oh, I definitely would. Yeah. But you didn't ask me.
Nothing makes me happier than people talking to the microphone off mic.
It's so good, man.
It's a great vision. I didn't say that, did I? I said, don't you need the reckless speculation sound?
I don't remember that, but I will never retire that sound. It is one of my favorites.
See you guys.
Go.
Enjoy
Go to your
that BTS
concert.
I probably won't.
I don't think that's true. I bet he's going to love it.
I'm excited for a weekend in the Windy
Did
City.
you leave already? It's not. That's New York.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, it was like I thought you were going to New York, not Chicago.
Get out of here. God almighty.
How do we not have a camera with me and you framed up?
You would, I don't know.
All right. Enjoy your solo show.
Blaine, get in here.
Yeah.
If he's going to yell at me, he might as well yell at me on air.
Yeah, it's not like we have anything else to do.
I mean, are we done?
Pretty much, but the breaks are so short today that there's no way to...
Yeah, there's Blaine. Come on. Turn a microphone on. Yeah, our breaks are horribly short today, so we're going into like 58. Lucas has to go to a BTS concert in New York City. He's flying out there. All right, so we're gonna have this out on air. Hi, Blaine.
Hey, what's going on, man? Look, I listen to your show all the time because I love listening to you guys banter, especially, Bert back there with his jokes. But
he seems to be the main draw.
You had a segment, actually. You made sure of it that y'all were getting rid of reckless speculation voice. And then y'all said y'all were changing it to something else. And then all of a sudden, this was a day. Oh, yeah. I don't forget.
Never say that.
I carry receipts up in here. Oh, yeah,
you got mad at me when I used that sound for reckless speculation the first time.
And so that's why, no, I didn't get mad. I said, hey, what is that?
Give me a hard time.
I said you were kind of using it for not what it's supposed to be used for. Yeah, because it was really, you used it initially about the Vrabel.
Robert's playing it in my ear. You don't have your headphones in, so I am listening to it right now. No, what I said was...
What'd you say?
He needs to use the reckless speculation sound when discussing the Kyle Shanahan scuttlebutt on the internet, if I remember the segment correctly. Now, we can revisit the tape.
Watch this, ask Bert. What
I don't
happened?
trust him.
What happened in that segment? You said you were changing the reckless speculation.
We would never do that.
Yeah, that came straight out of your mouth.
Blaine, that's not true. That's simply not true.
Okay, you have it, Bert. I know y'all looking for it.
I don't know that we have time to turn it around.
Okay.
Now,
he can't hear me say this. He can't hear me say this.
You can't hear him right now, but let me turn my microphone off and turn his microphone off.
He absolutely said it, Blaine.
Oh,
he 100% said it. He 100%
He said he absolutely said it, Blaine. Get him.
I'm trying to maybe I misheard, but I don't think I did.
I believe you misheard.
Oh, no.
I say this as your friend. I believe you misheard.
Oh, no, I didn't. And then all of a sudden it's still alive. It's still alive.
We would never get rid of that sound. Over my dead body would we get rid of the sound.
Oh, my
what did I just say?
Gracious. That is an absolute bungalow of a statement there because you are straight lying.
I don't think that's true. You know what you can't get enough of? Blaine and Zach. They're coming up next.